Well, welcome to the After Hours
Show me
show.
your doobies.
Show me your doobies.
Lean back.
Doobie, doobie, doo. No, it's not a doobie. This is a pipey, pipey,
I
pipey.
got a blunty.
Blunty, blunty, blunty.
Wait, hold
I
on,
got,
look.
I got my, I don't have
It's a doobie.
my vaporizer. I don't have it hooked up yet.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm bringing this to KC.
See, I think I would probably do one of those.
A vaporizer? It doesn't smell the same.
You are going to love this vaporizer because it's hard. It's all vapor, not smoke, non-combusted. You are going to dig this. It's my favorite way to consume cannabis. And when we put different strains in, you will be able to tell a huge difference in the taste and the smell, especially the taste profile in this vaporizer.
Yeah.
You're going to dig it. What do you think, Caitlin?
Just strip it out. I'm thinking about tacos. I
You
don't know if
think
you guys can hear it, but we are getting some pretty gnarly storms right now, so
So the extra weird noise that you hear,
Yes.
we apologize for.
the mic is right on the wall, so I mean,
So you're telling me you're not in Kansas anymore?
no.
No.
Hey, JJ.
But so you are saying you were in Kansas?
No.
No. I mean, a long time ago.
Oh, okay. Because I asked you if you're not in Kansas anymore, and you said no. So you were obviously in Kansas before.
I mean, I
Oh,
have been at some point in my life.
Ah.
What's up, JJ? How you doing?
Hey, namaste, my friends. They are getting me as confused as Caitlin gets me. They say one thing and then contradict themselves instantly afterwards. I can't keep up. I don't understand.
Josh is in Kansas.
Well, thank you. So now we have established somebody's in Kansas.
Ask my
That makes me feel better.
Yeah, right.
What are you doing, Caitlin?
None of your business, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, you see, that's why I call her Hatelin. Because now everybody is going to see how she truly is.
Right, because now you actually have the Facebook off and it's YouTube only. So this is like the gloves off session.
Right, this is behind the scenes shit, man. And you will see the abuse. And when I say I am Johnny times two, Amber, what she did to that pillow ain't nothing compared to what I've done to her pillow.
She's like, wait a minute here. I don't know if I like the way that sounds.
Hey, Jay,
He's only
you
saying
made
that
it
because he
somewhere.
has babies.
Cosmo,
Don't get mad. You don't have to leave.
my sugar mama.
Oh, so Caitlin's gone now. It's just me. Aren't
Just
you
us.
lucky? I know I'm lucky. And there's a 50-50 chance she will find her way back to this room from the front room. So
She's coming back, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Eat a dick.
Hey, she got lucky. She got lucky this time. You had a
Hey, welcome back. What do you got there?
1-2 shot.
Push pop.
What the fuck, Kate?
It's a push-up.
Where's mine?
At the dollar store.
That's fucking rude. I thought we were homies.
Well, you see, the thing is I've had like the biggest hankering for sherbet lately, but the dollar store does not sell sherbet.
Sherbet's my favorite.
And so I had to get push pops instead.
Yes, I find the dollar store
Yeah,
variety
Charlie, ice cream and a toilet paper roll.
lacking myself. Not much variety.
The best kind of ice cream.
Jolly, why are you asking that kind of question? I don't know. That's what's going on there, Jolly. He'd like
Yes,
to know.
yes, Jolly. And actually, it's better than most stuff that she puts in a toilet paper roll and puts in her mouth. So, yes, that's pretty accurate.
Now you need to go up a little higher. He said, "How do roachy farts smell, Caitlin?"
I don't know.
Well, she will soon find out.
I tend to not
We
smell
got
his
Taco
farts.
Bell for dinner, which is not nearly as bad as McDonald's, which was our other choice. But yes, we'll see if we can't give her some gastro delights, gaseous delights.
No.
Yes.
The real plot twist is when I sleep here, he sleeps on the same pillow as I do. So he really can't do anything to my pillows.
Not at the same time. Where she happens to sleep is also
Because he doesn't have the motivation to wash the pillows in between the time he
And-
sleeps on them and I sleep on
in
them.
my music room and office. So sometimes during the day, I like to lay down and take a nap. So therefore, I am sleeping on her pillow in her bed.
But he doesn't have time in between the time that I'm not here. And
To disinfect.
he's doing stuff
Yes, each time.
to do whatever the hell
Each-
he's talking
each
about
time.
doing to my pillows because he won't wash them. So he's spewing
I
lies.
just set them
He's
off to the
spewing
side. I
lies.
don't actually use your pillows. I use my own pillows.
Then why have you been using my pastel fluffy pillow?
I
It's right
haven't.
there in the middle of the bed.
I haven't. I bring my pillows in and then put them back on the bed. And then once I do that, then I take care of what I'm going to do to your pillow and I leave it. You understand? Too complex of a plot for Caitlin to comprehend. But you have had several, like recurring pink eye infections.
I have not.
Well, no, you can be honest. These are our friends.
I think the most that I've gotten from you is scabies from you sleeping in my bed.
No.
Make sure you guys go smash the thumbs up button over there.
Yes.
Well, we are her refuge because normally cuckoos exist totally in the wild. So once or twice a week we do allow her indoors. And, even though it kind of goes against their nature, we like to offer the food, warmth and security that indoors can provide for cuckoos like her.
Jane, I don't know that it's an echo you're hearing as much as the thunder, lightning, rain, and all of that on our little shed building echoing through our metal building that we're in. So.
Yeah, that's what they like to call there a frog strangler.
You better be careful playing music. We're on YouTube. They'll shut our shit down.
No, YouTube's okay with it.
Really?
Yeah, Facebook's
That's
the one that
weird.
shuts them. Well, okay. I mean, it goes different ways for people. I have been able to play music on YouTube without any issues, but if I even hum a freaking song on Facebook, they hit me for copyrights, which is how
Right.
the whole me singing cost me a dab type of thing came up. Like anytime that I would sing a song, they'd be like, "Oh, you got a dab," because I always sing. Because Facebook would hit me if I did any kind of music or anything in the background.
Yeah, we're really careful on Facebook. Everything that we play, we have the artist okay and permission on because I've heard of so many
Permission.
people being hit and hit hard for music violations on Facebook. It's nothing to mess around with.
That's how you catch a lawsuit.
Yeah, they can get you to pay royalties and all kinds of shit if you play their music and don't pay them.
Right.
And it's not the artists that are coming after people; it's the attorneys for the recording companies.
Yep.
That are doing this. The artists don't see a penny of this. It's all goes to the companies and the holding companies.
Well, and the artists aren't really mad about it either because as far as it goes for them, it's shares, it's views, it's revenue that way.
Right. And especially some of the stuff that I listen to, I mean, is old and probably not well known even at the time it was popular. But it could give people that have never heard that audio or that artist a chance to hear some of their music.
Right. Yeah, I've got I have a few music contacts that I'm allowed to use their music. But I mean, you can only hit a certain genre so many times before people are like, okay, I'm tired of hearing this album. So I try to kind of as much as I would like to play music, it's really hard to play music just because you're either going to hit a copyright issue or you're going to hit somebody doesn't like listening to country, somebody doesn't like listening to rap, somebody doesn't like listening to rock. Like,
right, and you're exactly right. Having to constantly keep it mixed up, the genres and the artists. You would think, and this is one of the things that has really amazed me since I got into this, is because being kind of a musician at one time myself, we were always begging people to play our stuff.
that's
Here's a CD, play it. Here's a cassette, play it.
absolutely.
I'm trying to find bands with original music that I would love to promote. I love music, all genres, and would love to promote them. And I get so little submissions. I mean, it's just mind blowing. And the ones I do get are just terrible audio quality.
Yeah. Framing the Red. They are a Mississippi, Louisiana band, and it's kind of like a little bit of a mix of like a country rock style genre.
Right.
They
throw any Zydeco into it?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
But they're amazing people, and they're all about spreading the love of letting people play their music and stuff like that. So they might be one that you could even just they have Facebook. So Framing the Red is on Facebook. They've got a lot of really awesome music that kind of hit because they do a rock feel, a country feel. They kind of have like their ballad feel as well. So you can get it in there and have a nice mix. And they're good group of dudes as well, and they have been traveling north. So I mean, who knows? Maybe enough talking to them, you might even be able to link them in somewhere there in Indiana.
Yeah, well,
they go to Iowa on a regular.
One of my dreams, or not a dream, it's a goal, because I know I can make this happen. It's just going to take time. I want to set up a Master Rochi's concert series where we get a group of bands, and starting from basically Tulsa, Oklahoma, to run up towards Chicago, then back down through Kentucky, and then back to Oklahoma. 300 to 500 seat venues where we provide bands once or twice a month to these venues. And make it a regular concert series to help some of these artists and bands get heard, and not just limit it to musical acts, but hopefully include comedians and some other acts along the way. But that's a plan that I have, and it's getting all the artists together to guarantee all the venues that we get, that we can guarantee an act when we say we are. So if we have 5 venues and we're guaranteeing an act, once a month, we need enough acts to fill those gates, and then we need enough venues. And then we have to get everybody to agree on money and shares and all of that stuff. So it's beginning, but that's a plan. That's what I want to see come to fruition here within a year or two. And but we're getting good feedbacks from some artists and some venues. Yeah,
I used to work in the promoting portion of the music industry, helping artists and stuff like that. It's a crazy industry. It's a lot of fun, and like you said, it is insane at how much Facebook hits you for music, because it has nothing to do with whether it was back in your day, back in my day, or now in this day. Anybody in the music industry, all they want is for people to listen to their music, play my stuff. And it's crazy how now. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to be very clear. I have from the beginning always been totally against the downloading of free music, because I too was, aspirations of being in music. So, I mean, I wanted that to be the way that I made a living. So I don't think it's okay to steal, but listening to it and stuff like that, I'm all for. So, I mean, when Facebook is constantly hitting people all the time for these copyrights of music, it's like, did you ask Did you go and ask David Bowie if he was upset that we played that in the background? Did you ask him? Because I bet he was pretty excited about the 5 people who were like, I love this song. I mean,
exactly. And, and that's it as a musician. If I heard somebody play our stuff, I mean, it's exciting. It's like, God, somebody actually wants to hear what we're doing.
When we were uploading to YouTube in the beginning, we had a lot of that where YouTube was hitting us with.
Yeah.
And because we have written permission from each person that we play their music, we always just tell them we have permission.
Right.
And they just let it go.
Right.
Can my vape? So Mom can
Oh
have
my
hers.
God, you're needy tonight.
I know you sure keep asking for that vape a lot. I mean, that's okay. So that's at least the 3rd vape I've seen in your hands. What do you got? I mean, you can't just
Well,
like
this is
smoke
a
one
good one.
vape.
No, this is the good one. This one,
I was talking about the vacation time.
Jane said hi.
Hi, Jane.
Although I want to make sure Jolly's doing well as well.
Wait. Who's the magical face or who's the magical voice with no face?
That's Mama Rochi.
Mama Rochi, Jolly.
We got a smidgen glimpse of her.
Yeah, Mama Rochi doesn't get on camera.
Yeah, her original name on this show was Troll in the Corner. And she went by Troll in the Corner for probably almost a year, and then she decided to rename herself.
No, the kids named me.
Mama
It
Rochi.
started as Mama Crystal, and then it became Mama Rochi.
And it's still Troll in the Corner.
It's still Troll in the Corner. I mean, Mama Rochi, he's over there calling you Troll in the Corner. Do you want to tell everybody about?
Hi.
You want to tell everybody about his banana hammock now? Since he's being mean.
No,
to
you
you?
never said banana hammock.
You don't want to see the banana hammock.
Talk about his banana hammock and what's going to be on it. Magnifying glass not included.
No, so in
Well,
hospital.
they are the two that are really encouraging me for my OnlyFans account.
Oh my God, no.
You see, when he says banana hammock, he's talking about, those little candies, the really hard ones?
Runs.
That's about
Runs.
appropriate. Yeah, runs. That's
Runs,
appropriate.
For what?
That's
For
appropriate.
what? For what?
So Jolly,
I want to know
It's
what
dead
you
now?
have. What have you been
Here.
looking at?
This one's
I think
Good, right.
Plug it in.
I think
Let me
this
plug
makes
it
me feel uncomfortable.
I'm leaving. I'm going to the other room. For a few
Jolly,
minutes.
before we went live, we were backstage. And as you can see, if you didn't notice, Kate the talent has changed her shirt. And so it's show me your doobies. And then it got into the other things that she is making as far as shirts go. And then Master Rochi asked about his banana hammock that he was going to be getting. And it went into she was going to put magnifying glass not included. And I added, make sure you write it really tiny so that way they even have to get close enough to read that. So that's where the Runts banana, just story time follow through. So that way you knew where we were going with that.
I'm just not comfortable at the fact that she's looking at me.
Oh, I don't. However,
I mean, these are your observations.
No. I'm just guessing. No, I'm just guessing based on how much Mom complains of her sex life or
Beep! The live has ended. There's been technical difficulties.
My girlfriend has no complaints.
My girlfriend has no complaints. Oh.
Is your girlfriend? There are 4 steps you have to use.
No, but I found now it took me a long time to figure this out. But you don't introduce your girlfriend to your wife, or you don't introduce your wife to your girlfriend. Not a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, things can get sketchy.
Oh yeah, and painful. You kind of expect it from the wife, but if the girlfriend doesn't know you're married, then it kind of comes a tag team event, and you're kind of standing there alone.
Yeah, then you're all by yourself. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that being a bad thing. I'm so excited for Kansas City Canna Fest.
Figured that out after the fact.
So one of the other things, Jolly, that we were talking about backstage is with this Kansas City Canna Fest. We were talking about all the stuff that's with the festival, all the stuff that we're going to be doing after dark, like after hours. And I was like, well, shit, we've got Airbnb house, so we'll probably be doing some kind of after hours, after party get together at our place. And so we were talking about all the fun we're going to be having at our place and how it's actually a good thing we didn't get that Airbnb house with the bouncy beds only 2 blocks away. Because if we would have actually gotten that, we would have had the entire Canafest come and it would have looked like a frat house party. And, those bouncy beds would have been like bouncing out the window. People would have been like grabbing people.
But I don't think being next to the zoo is much better.
Sure it is.
No, because our stoner fucking friends are going to get high and they're going to try to sneak into the zoo.
Tanner's sneaking in to go fight the kangaroo. That's totally what's happening.
The really fun thing is I don't get high that often. I just carry this kind of chaotic energy all the time. So
when you get high, is it even crazier?
Depends. If I get too fucked up, sometimes I'm just like, snacks, blinkies, I'm out, bye.
But you feed her a Red Bull about that time, and it rejuvenates her. And it really scatters her even more than she normally is.
The
so
best
it can
combo,
be very entertaining.
Yeah, the best combo is a Red Bull and an edible.
Yep.
For
Red Bull and
levels.
an edible, and grab the popcorn because there will be a show.
Yeah. But, usually if I smoke, I don't know what it is, but when I smoke, I just get too high too fast, and then I'm out. You can't convince me otherwise. I'm going to bed. It's night time wherever I am. I have, literally slept on the floor of my friend's apartment because I got too blazed one time. That's what it is.
Oh, hey, do you guys have lawyers?
Lawyers?
Uh-huh.
If needed.
Oh, I was going to say, I do, so I'll beat you home.
He's saying we're going to get arrested at the zoo, Kate.
No!
I picked up what he was putting down. I was trying to figure out whether or not his ass was going to leave me in Missouri.
I'm thinking that we're going to get arrested way before we make it to the zoo.
Is the Ozarks, is that in Missouri?
Yes.
I mean, yes.
Yes, the Ozarks is in Missouri.
See, my attorney will not be too far away. She is usually at the Ozarks.
I guess that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. Does your attorney play banjo?
No.
All right.
She's got a lake house on the Ozarks.
Oh.
She loves it there. Loves it there.
Well,
I will not be visiting any jail at all in Missouri.
my attorney lives in a trailer behind the chemical dump.
Nice.
So there. Yeah. Nothing but the best.
Go back.
Yes,
Johnny,
probably.
you're probably right. They're like this group of misfits who plan to come to Kansas City to bring all their shenanigans. We just need to meet them at the state line, at the airport, and just be like, nope, turn around.
See, they're gonna have to catch us all though.
Right.
Like
they're gonna have to try to
so what do
catch
you
us
think?
all.
We're like Pokemon now?
Yeah. Now, unlike Mama Rochi, who's not very good at evading, I've never been caught. I am the elusive Pokemon.
I mean, unfortunately, I've been caught a couple of times. I mean, I was caught once by the people who threw me in real prison. I was caught a couple of times by the people who threw me in Facebook prison. I'd like to say I was caught by this one who threw me in the marriage prison, but that was actually me trapping her. I trapped her. She said no 5 times when I asked her.
Well,
5 times she said no, but I'm persistent. I don't.
I've gotten a
Sometimes
now
no
right now.
means just try harder.
Okay, I'm going to share just part of the story because then I'll share the rest. Maybe in Kansas City or maybe here, but
You gotta get mom's permission.
on how Mama Rochi and I met.
Mom!
Because we are 2 very, very, very different people
So are we.
than we are now. Mama Rochi was a dancer at a club that I frequent because at the
I
time
don't care if he tells.
I was an
I don't
enforcer for a motorcycle club.
That's a long time ago.
So,
Just
you know, a totally different time period. It was supposed to be a one-night stand because my brother.
Was she a dancer at one of those buildings that had all those upright supports in them? Like they
Oh,
seemed.
you know it.
I've been there for a long time. I went there all the time, and I
never understood why they build those buildings like that. That they have to have all those upright supports in the middle of everything.
But anyway, I knew every dancer. I knew every dancer in the place.
Except for the one that had been there for 10 years.
So I look up and I'm thinking, oh, this new dancer, she's dressed all in white, and she comes sauntering up towards the stage, trips, falls right into me.
Hey, I sat in his lap the rest of the night.
Right. So anyway, it was supposed to be a one-night stand, and 50 years later, here we are.
Absolutely, opposites do attract. I mean,
now strippers and bikers go hand in hand.
They do.
That is true.
Strippers and bikers do go hand in hand.
And that's it.
Yeah. And I'm a Scorpion, and so she. And I said, either, Scorpios, either we're going to be the best thing that has ever happened to each other, or we're going to kill each other. It's going to be like matches and gasoline.
Well, and you guys did try to kill each other first.
We tried to kill each other a couple times, but
that was the first go round. Yeah, that was the first go round.
The first time.
It's all right.
We were together for a couple of years, and then we split up for 2 years, and then we got back together. Well, when we got back together, we had different priorities in life.
Right.
So baseball bats and nunchucks are no longer allowed in the house.
No, we never had it like that.
I mean, fair enough.
Never like that.
All right.
Don't make us out to be one of those.
Ashtrays and thick faces.
No, it wasn't even that.
I mean, look, there is that stereotype.
Jewelry box in the front yard. That's what he did.
If you stereotype biker, stripper, baseball bat, and nunchuck, everybody has a very clear picture of what's going on. I'm just saying. Like,
thank you.
Honestly, it wasn't even like that.
And the strange thing was, I was always in the medical field, and always filled with such, positive
my God.
energy.
I'm leaving.
Growing up when I was younger.
Yeah, you were the word enforcer. It was
right.
That is absolutely spreading peace and happiness.
Well, what I was trying to say is, when I got out of the Army, I had changed, and I ended up going to a really dark place for a really long time, and became a person that I never dreamed I could become.
All right, I'm going in the room.
And it's been a long journey back, but because of all of those questionable decisions that I made, especially during those years, and was a person that I am very sorry to have ever been. I learned so much and grew so much that I'm finally completing that circle, coming back to who I had started out originally.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I met Crystal, and yeah, I'm not talking about just a small club. Yeah.
What's AVMC?
What?
AVMC.
AVMC. Contact. Oh, American Veterans Motorcycle Club, Oklahoma City.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Right on. So yeah, I got a kind of now. Not only I've got a very interesting life. Not only have I been a motorcycle club member, I also used to go to work in a suit and tie. I've worked for 2 Fortune 500 companies and 1 Fortune 100 company.
Nice.
So,
and served in the military.
I have traveled all over the country, both professionally and recreationally. got to experience wonderful things. Been in rooms with people that have blown my mind. Uh, and now I'm just hoping to be able to share some of these good decisions, bad decisions, and experiences with other people, and help raise whatever this is.
So it's one of those that's it's funny that you say it like that because looking back at like one of the things you learn as a parent, you think back to your childhood when your parents would always, quote unquote, let's just call it what it is, give advice or tell you what to do. Like we'll talk about, how Caitlin makes bad decisions, in a way. You always, when I was growing up, the younger generation who, like when I would hang out with people who were younger and they'd always ask, okay, well, as a 25-year-old or as a 30-year-old, as a 35-year-old, wherever I was at the time when they would ask, what would you tell somebody, coming right out of high school? And I was like, man, absorb all the information. What people tell you, like if somebody gives you a personal experience about life, like take that in. Not saying that that's going to be the answer, but what personal experiences, take that in because they've done it. Like it's crazy growing up as a child how you always think there's no way that my parents know what I'm talking about. There's no way that my parents went through the exact same thing that I went through, or there's no way that the school doesn't teach you how to finance money. So if somebody says, hey, you really do need to be setting money in a savings account, not spending your first paycheck, your kids are like, yeah, it'll be just fine. And as a parent or as an adult, it's crazy because now you look back on all the things, all the advice that you were given as a youngster, all the things that your parents told you, hey, you should take my advice. And you're like, no, I'm going to do my own. It's that rough path of I got to learn on my own. It's insane to think how much easier life would be if people just accepted advice. Not saying that you do what they say, but take in the advice that somebody gives you because, like there's a lot of people in Facebook who talk about their struggles with having to choose between what bill to pay and stuff. Right. Like that. And there's a lot of, and they think they're alone. And it's like, no, you're not alone. I mean, there's only really like 10% of the world who's actually paying their bills on time all the time with no issues. Otherwise, there's plenty of people that are on that struggle bus where, we pay our bills on time, but it doesn't mean that we didn't live that world where shit. Do you know how many years I drove a car with no car insurance? Because like that, I can't even afford to think about paying for car insurance. Like,
right. The only reason we have car insurance now is because I work for a car insurance.
She works for Progressive, so we do. It's not the only reason, but we've had insurance now on our vehicles for over 10 years. We've grown. But, there was a huge part of our adult life that we didn't even have car insurance. And it all came down to just taking advice from people on how to save money, how to spend money, what to do with your, like all of those little things that, like they always say, if you could go back, knowing everything you know right now, if you could go back and do it all over again, would it be any different? It's like, fuck yeah, it would be different. Do you like?
I disagree. I wouldn't do a thing different, right, wrong, better or worse, because you know what? If I went back and changed something, I wouldn't be the person that I am today, and I am happy with me. I
agree. I think there's some things that I might have done that I would undo.
Oh, you want to hear something that my dad almost killed me over? Now, because I'm a genius at 17, absolute genius.
We all were.
Right. So I'm in basic training that they signed the waiver because I'm not going to go to college. Now, it's not because I was not a smart or individual. They questioned my extracurricular activities. So during basic training, I get called down to the CO's office, and there's a couple of guys there, and they want to talk to me about going to West Point Preparatory School. Now, nobody actually sat down and translated this to the ears of a 17-year-old that was going to be, Sergeant Rock, because my dad was a major in the Air Force. So I told him, nah, no thanks. I think I'm going to go back and graduate with my class. So didn't think anything more of it. Came back, recounted the story to my father, and he damn near killed me.
And you don't think, looking back, knowing what you know now, you don't think you would have taken the opportunity to go there?
Oh, I probably would have jumped at it if I had actually known what the opportunity was and it was going to be a direct appointment into West Point. Yeah. But had I done that, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I wouldn't be surrounded with this loving family and this extended loving family.
True.
Right.
True.
So, I will never know what that choice would have made, but I do know what choice I
Pete's
made.
back.
Became yes. Did you hear the cracking door?
Mom, I got water on my iPad.
And she's surprised.
Yeah. No, I mean, don't get me wrong, Master Rochi. I do say me going to federal prison was probably the greatest thing, one of the greatest 5 things that have happened to me in my life. It was something that I needed. So like there are certain, like when I say, knowing what you know now, would you change anything? And I'm like, yeah, I would change a lot. There's a lot of things that I, like how I blew through money,
Oh yeah.
the different things in life, not necessarily the paths we necessarily took. Because again, I definitely wouldn't be who I am now had I not gone through what I went through to get me here. So,
oh yeah, I agree. And I used to blow money like crazy. I would money up and, take off and just not work for, 6-8 months or whatever and live a incredible lifestyle and go, time to go back to work again.
I've got good news.
What good news do you have, Caitlin?
I'm not pregnant.
Well, that is good news.
I'm a woman.
Well, congratulations.
Finally.
You heard it here, folks, and I hope you're as pleased as I am that Caitlin, the talent, will not be reproducing at this time.
At this time.
Good news.
Good news.
For mankind.
The world. So, would you think the world is still a safer place?
With her not reproducing? Definitely.
Right now.
Oh, with her reproducing or not? Or are we on a different...
Well, I'm just saying, like, you said right now, so that means there's still a possibility that she could reproduce later. So then, does that mean the world isn't actually safe?
Oh, no. The world should be fearful. Fearful. As long as she possesses the ability to... God knows what's going to happen.
I mean, with the ability of her toe spreader, though, I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Me too.
I figured that toe spreader would have attracted just the perfect gene to reproduce more.
Oh yeah, she's got toe spreading kung fu. I mean, it's mystical, it's secret, and only a handful of people can do this in the world.
A footful.
Yes.
Only a footful of people can do it.
Only a footful, and we will see some of the primates at the zoo showing some of the dexterity, but not quite all of it that Caitlin has with her feet.
Yeah, Caitlin, are you gonna? So we've got Tanner. Tanner's gonna jump the wall and fight a kangaroo. Are you gonna jump the wall and go swing around with the monkeys then?
No. If I do anything, I'll probably get in with the big cats.
No, I want to pet the kitties.
I like the cats.
I want to pet the kitties.
I like cats.
I called the kitties.
I
called the kitties 3 days ago.
I really like the snakes too. Like if I get the opportunity to hold a snake, I'm gonna hold a snake.
Okay, we're putting her in the snake pit. She volunteered to go into the snake pit.
Sorry, I'm writing up a college visit for your child.
Oh, Caitlin's over here saying she really wants to hold some snakes.
Okay.
But I wasn't thinking of those kind of snakes. I went straight, She just said she wasn't pregnant. Yeah, she just said she wasn't pregnant, and then she followed up with she likes to hold snakes. So I mean,
she only had 3 dates this week, but that was last night. So it's okay.
No, yesterday was garbage. You don't want to know why? Because
the fourth guy didn't show up.
No. suck a dick and shut your mouth. Okay? Because I worked from 6 o'clock in the morning to 2 p.m. and then I had to go back to work at 6 p.m. and work from 6 and then I was there until 11. So it was trash.
But you slept in your car.
I wish I would have had the capability to sleep in my car, but I needed to go home and wash my clothes because after working that many hours, my clothes straight up and down smelled like coochie.
Right.
That's never a good smell. If it's
no, and she wasn't working her normal job. She was down at the truck stop.
No.
You were?
So you're gonna do a college visit on April Fool's Day?
Yeah.
Sounds about right. I'm down with that.
Don't show up.
If I would have planned,
I don't think my son will let me get away with not showing up.
Bullshit.
Yeah,
Where are you going to smoke that marijuana?
Just send him a text and be like, just kidding.
Our youngest son. So there's a few things that, when you look at your offspring, you're like, oh, they got that from me, or oh, they got that from the other one, or oh, they're doing the same thing that we did. Our youngest son is taking his extremely smart brain, and he's decided that he's going to continue his education. Now, when he was 8 years old, we had a conversation, and mind you, this kid gave us the sex talk, not because we needed it, but because he said he already knew it. And so we said, oh, you knew it. Could you tell us? He gave us the sex talk at 11. And I mean,
did you learn?
I learned that hookers give blowjobs for $50 on the corner.
You're in an expensive part of town.
I was more shocked that he knew how much they charged. Like,
right. Like I said, you're in the upscale neighborhood.
He was 11. But like when he was 8 years old, he's like, no, I think I got a pretty good grasp on life. I think I'm going to skip college. I'm going to just go straight to working and making money so that way I can just skip all the school stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, I mean, that's one way to look at it. And then as he got older, I always like to bring it up. I was like, what happened to this? Like, I'm going to skip college. He's like, yeah, not for the kind of money that I want to make. So the last I knew, the last time him and I had a real conversation on what he wanted to do with his life, it was a mixture of he wants to be.
He's
changed it
decided.
Since? Oh, well, then I want to tell the story and you can tell us what he's went with. But he wanted to be a chef and a tattoo artist. And so he wanted to own his own business that would actually combine the two, kind of thing. And so I was like, okay, I said, I know of a biker bar in Savannah, Illinois that I've been to called Poopies. And it's a really cool biker restaurant type thing. And on the other, like connected to it, is their tattoo shop. I don't know that I would ever get tattooed at an establishment like that. I have a few standards when it comes to tattooing. Now I do have my apprentice leg, so I mean, I don't have 100% standards, but something about being tattooed connected to a bar, I have standards. I don't know that I would just go that route and get that tattoo. But he was like, I want it to be like a high-end restaurant with high-end tattoos. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, that sounds interesting enough. And so then seeing him do all of his FBLA things and Future Businesses of America stuff, again, when I think of food and tattoos, I still think of the biker bar thing that we used to go to all the time. I think of Poopies. And I mean, that was its name. It was Poopies. And so when I see it all dressed up, I'm like, yeah, see, I don't picture anybody who owns Poopies looking like you right now. He goes, that's because I'm not going to own Poopies. That's the last place I'm going to go Poopies.
Hey, you know what? Elevate this, this shit. Elevate the hell out of it. Have an infused dining experience. Go in and lay $5 down on a good tattoo, and and have a fine dinner before or after.
Yep.
I mean, making an experience. Take your wife, your girlfriend out, get matching tattoos. Go to to a 4-star restaurant. Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, and that was one of the things. Like later on when he talked about his restaurant, he's like, my restaurant, I want it to be. I want to cook with cannabis, not necessarily to get people high and stoned. He's like, but I'd like to because we've been really open with Landon from the get-go with cannabis. Right. Now, again, I was on federal parole for the first portion of his life. So, all he's known was his dad not doing cannabis for the first portion, but we were very open about it, all the goods it has and stuff like that. So he was one of the first kids who was confused why I volunteered to speak in the DARE program. He's like, isn't that aren't you the opposite of what you're? He's like, isn't that backwards? And I was like, well, I mean, the thing about DARE, you want to keep kids off the hard drugs. I like hard drugs, Landon. I don't believe that marijuana belongs in that category. So then when he got to that DARE portion, he was the kid who would argue with his teachers and the police officer when they would start categorizing things. He'd be like, "Yep, that's not a drug."
Right. And that is the key to our children's future and for the future. And that's the same thing I get when people look at me where, yes, I support drug laws. I support, things like that. I support the police. Well, why, man? It doesn't seem, no, because we're talking two different issues. We're talking the mislabeling of cannabis as a drug and hard drugs that will kill you.
Right.
There is a difference. And just because I'm for one doesn't mean I'm anti the other.
Right. Yeah, like people get really confused. I've been to federal prison. I got busted. The police officer who quote unquote kicked in my door was actually a very good family friend. After I did my federal time and I got out, I had dinner with this same police officer. I've always been pro cops. The guy was doing his job. I was breaking the law. Good guys, bad guys, you get caught. And there's a lot of people who get really confused when, I don't support the fuck the police cause. I don't think I have an issue with law enforcement that, oversteps their bounds. But to me, 90% of the police force, they're just going to work. That was the
They're just
profession.
earning a living.
Yeah, that was the profession that fell in line with what they were doing. So I mean,
and I honestly believe 90% of them out there are good people and trying to do the right thing.
Absolutely.
And I've had some wonderful experience with the police as the enforcer of a motorcycle club. As strange as that may sound.
No, not at all. I mean,
but I've found
anarchy.
A lot of cool, cops to be cool if you're cool with them, and reasonable. They don't want to have any rougher day than you want to have.
Right.
Honestly, it's a respect thing.
Right.
I mean, it really comes down to respect. I mean, there's the good guys, there's the bad guys, and as long as you both respect each other, you can actually live in the same world. If you cross the line, the good guys are going to yell at the bad guys for what they're doing. That's just kind of the name of the game.
Right.
But I've never been in the they're the bad guys for their profession. I do know that they do exist. I mean, I had growing up as a teenager, before I was quote unquote the bad guy, I was just a mouthy teen.
Dumb kid.
Yeah, I was just a dumb kid. I had one cop in town who had it out for me. Like I couldn't do anything. He would pull me over. Like by the time I got my license, luckily I didn't have that crazy you get so many tickets you're out. But I had so many stupid small tickets from one police officer, and I finally brought it to the court and I was like, could you guys please just look at the fact that it's the same officer ticketed by the same officer 3 times in one night. Like, you've got to be kidding me. 3 separate occasions. So I mean, I do know that there's dickhead cops out there, but there's also dickhead Walmart fucking employees, and there's dickhead.
Well, there's just dickhead people in
dickheaded
general.
people.
I mean,
well, you were talking about how was I going to put it? Anyway, about cops' kids and stuff. Well, being a teacher's kid, my dad was a hard ass. He was a wrestling coach, a football coach.
Oh,
damn. He was still wearing a crew cut into the 80s.
Yep.
I mean, that's the kind of guy he was. So a lot of people didn't like him. And a lot of people, especially some cops that he happened to have as former students, would take advantage. And that's one thing I think that they did do right when I was at 17 and was starting to get into these shenanigans is they shipped me off to the Army. They got me out of that county for several years. And by the time I came back, I was different,
You matured.
And the situation was different. And I wasn't experiencing what you were experiencing with the cops over and over again.
Right. Well, and honestly, that it was a similar story because, I ended up going to prison, leaving the area completely for, a couple of years. And then when I came back, that officer was no longer an officer. Like he was no longer in the area. They had they had some new officers. There were still some old ones that were still, from back, like when I was a kid, still there now. Still, I think she's working the school now. The current, chief of police was getting ready to be replaced. And I was okay with the, like we did a lot of different things when I got out of prison. So it was like when I came back, that stereotype had been lifted. I didn't have to, I didn't get harassed. I didn't get picked on. And then it was almost like a new stereotype because I did these DARE programs and because I volunteered for their police academy, which what that meant was I volunteered for them to tase me in front of people so that way they could show the effects of a taser.
Right.
That basically gave me, and I'm not saying it's good, right, or wrong, but it basically gave me a free pass in my county, so at one point in time I was the bad guy and now I'm all of a sudden the good guy. And so then when cops would see me, it's a respect thing. It didn't matter if I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing. We had a common respect, so I wouldn't do it blatantly. Like we've had several bike rallies where my neighbors would call and say that a bunch of bikers were out here after hours doing dumb shit. So
we never did dumb shit.
So there was a few times where like we would have an actual party. Specifically, the only way you were allowed to the party was if you rolled up on a motorcycle, and we would all basically park. And I had a really decent front yard. We'd all park there. And so, anytime somebody showed up, they would give it the triple crack. And then when they leave, they'd give it the triple crack. And the cops would just giggle because, as long as we did it within the hours of the noise ordinance, they would just tell the people, oh, they're doing exactly what they're not hurting anybody. Now, the moment the noise ordinance was in effect, the cops sat down the street from us. Like they'd all sit there and just wait. So at that point, when you fired up your bike, you better fire it up and be respectful and leave. And I mean, if you left and you weren't a dick, you didn't fucking crack on it to piss the neighbors off after hours or whatever, or do anything crazy, the cops just waved and said, have a nice night. They knew that, we probably weren't up to anything.
We had a couple of smiley faces and burnout marks in front of our house.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you see, now that's the difference between being motorcyclists and club members. Because if the neighbors would call the cops on the clubhouse, regardless of the noise ordinance or the time, the cops would tell them to go tell us themselves.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we didn't usually have any kind of problems like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we weren't club members. We were just bike motorcycle riders. But yeah, it was, but there was still the same respect given, you know what I mean?
Right.
We would only be disrespectful to the neighbors when they were douches.
Right. No, and it's kind of funny because when I originally got into motorcycles, it was because of the movie Easy Rider. Mm-hmm. And it was because of a book called Touching America on Two Wheels. And my version of bikers for a long time were just hippies with motorcycles.
Yeah.
They were free, they were traveling, they were meeting people, they were doing this. It wasn't until long, later on where the more negative aspects of that started filtering into my life. But for a long time, I just saw them as free, groovy hippies on a motorcycle with cooler than that. So,
yeah. Yep. Yeah, I do miss my two wheels. And I mean, after having back surgery, I haven't I like to ride. Don't get me wrong. I did a lot of charity rides, a lot of the bar hopping rides and stuff like that. But I liked the miles. I liked going for trips that you were actually going to fucking ride. And after I had back surgery, again, I might have done it a little too soon. It was like 2 weeks after back surgery. I did a 300-mile trip up into Wisconsin to do a audition for The Voice. And then I did, after the audition that day, I turned around and we did the 300-mile trip back. Now, granted, I had a street glide. It had super doped up fucking air ride, air suspension. Like, it wasn't like a hardtail or anything like that, but it was still too much.
Yeah, that's still a lot of miles, even on a bike like that, when you're that fresh.
Yeah.
Recovery.
And so then I think I kept the bike for maybe a year after that, after the surgery. And within the year after surgery, other than that 300-mile trip there and 300-mile trip back, it was a total of 215 miles is all I put on the bike. I just couldn't ride.
With my medical issues, I couldn't ride either. So I actually got rid of my bike prior to you getting rid of yours. And then I couldn't even ride with him at the time. So it just really wasn't all that enjoyable for the both of us.
And I mean, I know that we all like it when our old ladies are on the back of our bikes, but I got to tell you, having my old lady on her own bike so that way I could ride behind her and stare at her ass the whole time was way better than her riding behind me on mine.
Because you're a pervert.
Oh. Shit.
You've never had Crystal on behind you, have you?
No, I haven't.
No, you haven't. No. All right. Well, we'll talk.
Well, I mean, she was a dancer, and she danced at the places that had all those upright support. So I assume she was probably pretty good at wrapping on and hanging on.
Oh no, that wasn't the problem. She has also turn signals and navigation system, which malfunctioned constantly. Now, the other thing is we could ride for 300 miles with not a car between us on open 2-lane roads. She sits back there, listening to a book on tape, reading or whatever. As soon as we come into a little bit of traffic, stoplights, stop signs, that's when she decides to start coming up and kissing on the back of my neck, in my ears, and all. Not during the 300 miles of open highway that we just completed. No, couldn't have done any of that stuff then, where we were looking at nothing. There was, nothing going on.
Right.
As soon as we get a little bit of traffic, she's right there. And that's when she's decided to break her silence after 6 hours.
Right.
And start talking.
Yeah. Had all this time to chit chat. No, we went on one road trip where we, helmet law states. And we even tried doing the helmets with like the microphones inside of them. And
I would have killed myself.
So she kind of thought the same thing because I fucking sing. Like, whether I have music or not, when I sing, that's what I do. Like, that is my happy place. I just randomly fucking sing. So when you put me inside of a helmet, especially snowmobiling, like when you put me trapped inside of a helmet and I don't get to hear the normal outside world, or it's really hard to hear anything else, well, then I'm going to entertain myself. God damn it. I'll give myself a fucking show, listening to my own echo, my own voice. I'm not going to talk to myself in my head. I will do it out loud. Well, when we had this intercom system.
Exactly. You see, I'm not the only one. Mm-mm. See, that's perfectly normal.
It absolutely is. Yeah. So when we had this helmet system on.
I don't have a helmet.
Well, when we did, and I would like be singing away, she would shut her helmet off. And then I would be having an actual conversation with her, and I'd give her the elbow nudge. Be like, you gonna fucking answer me? And she's like, wait, what? And I was like, I've been talking to you this whole time. She's like, oh, I shut you off. You sing too much. I couldn't get any peace and quiet back here. You were just babbling on about nothing. And I was like, I've been talking to you for the last 83 fucking miles. Like, I was pointing shit out. And she's like, yep, missed it all. I was enjoying it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like the peace and quiet.
Mama Rochi does the same thing to me, but she puts earbuds in, and I don't realize it, and I'm just talking and all, and she'll, what did you think? Never mind.
I just ignore you on purpose.
I thought that's what she was doing.
Yep. I fully understand, and I can't understand what wisdom they could pick up from us if they would just take time to listen.
I know.
Yes,
it'd be amazing.
We could enrich their lives and broaden their knowledge so much.
I'm good. I have to listen to old people talk all day as a job. I don't want to do it on my off time.
What do you do, Kate?
I am a QMA.
I'm sorry, what?
Which is, I'm a qualified medication assistant. So I take care of old people.
Gotcha. Is that now? And I ask because we were just discussing this not so long ago. Is that the new initials for what used to be known as a CNA, the Certified Nurse's Assistant?
No,
because
I'm a CNA too.
Okay.
I'm both.
So it's in between.
A CNA can't give medication.
Right.
Yep.
QMA can.
So yeah, she's right now between a CNA and a nurse.
Yep.
Gotcha.
That's our responsibilities.
Gotcha.
Not too much responsibilities.
Too much responsibilities.
Because right now, as far as the company, honestly, we're all unpaid interns still at this point in the company. So I took the winter off of my day job, but when I'm at my day job, I oversee the building of roads and bridges.
Oh, very nice.
So that's my day job.
Don't let him fool you. 4 out of those 5 days of his work week are spent right here in this chair.
On the computer, though, he's doing
on the computer.
Nah, he's major sus. Major sus.
Hey,
look,
hey, I bring in a paycheck, don't I?
I've watched my wife at work, and I've taken photos of her legit computer on, hands on the keyboard, one finger, and I think she puts her finger on the mouse because she knows when she sleeps, the breathing will move her finger, so the computer doesn't fall asleep either. So then, yeah,
good strategy, Mrs. B. But no, here shortly I will be on an active job site for probably the rest of the summer.
Thank God.
But yeah, I'll actually be on site supervising.
Right on.
So yeah, or I'll be on site in a trailer supervising.
On site.
Or I'll be on site here supervising. So somewhere I will be supervising.
Hopefully one of the formers.
Yeah.
It's so peaceful when I come up here for Thursdays or Mondays and he's not here and I can just lay down on the couch and me and Mom talk and then we take our naps and then, sometime later we'll wake up and he's here. But when he's here, when we're already here, it's impossible to nap. He's always running out into the living room, spewing some kind of nonsense.
I mean, he just said that you guys were just talking about how he naps on your pillow. So, I mean.
But he naps at, weird ass times.
Now
I work at weird ass times.
Speaking of which, me and Mom were having a really intense discussion earlier. We're trying to figure out when you and Mrs. Bearded sleep.
When do we sleep?
Yeah. We were trying to figure it out because you do the P90X in the morning and then you do these lives pretty late into the night. And Mom was like, I messaged them, I swear. And neither of them have responded back to me. And I was like, Mom, I bet now. This is when they sleep. I bet it's right now.
Oh, Jane had to stop riding because she had a bad back too.
Yeah, I mean, I sleep, my best sleep is normally between 1:30 to 5:30.
I don't know.
1:30 to 5:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, in the afternoon.
Yeah, 1:30 to 5:30 in the afternoon is probably, and I mean, call it a nap or call it my sleep. Because.
Yeah,
I
tend to agree. I like to take a nap in the afternoon. I find that my most productive hours for really work runs between 3 or 4 in the afternoon to 11, 12 midnight.
Yeah.
There's some kind of executive dysfunction in my mind where about right now is when I have the most energy to do everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Like,
me too.
I'm a night owl. I would rather be up late at night and sleep in the morning.
mm-hmm.
I'm usually up late at night and up in the morning for work too. So whenever I can squeeze in a nap, I do.
See, I work the day shift because I've tried evenings and nights and I hate both of them more than I hate days.
The day shift in that kind of profession though goes so much faster than a night shift does.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time. If it's a good day, it goes fast.
Yeah.
If it's a bad day, it drags ass. Literally.
Normally, I don't like to stay up past 1 o'clock, but it seems like if I'm up past 1 o'clock, I'm up till 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
I was up last night until about 3.
I
could not sleep.
I was not.
If somehow I could get a job where I worked in between like 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. and those were like my set hours and I got paid the same amount that I get paid now, that'd be perfect because I like to stay up until about like 4 o'clock in the morning and then wind down, go to sleep for like 4 or 5 hours and then wake up.
Yeah.
Now we know the time schedule of a cuckoo.
Time's good.
Yeah, my work schedule. So between my 2 jobs, they're pretty flexible. Well, the one is very flexible, but the other one I don't have to be on the phone. It's all just documentation and paperwork for the most part. Right. So that one's kind of I do it as I want for the most part, I guess. But the other one is scheduled phone. But we've been really slow the last few months, so I haven't even really been working. But it's hard getting sleep in sometimes.
Hey, Jolly, I dig it, man. Yeah, up 3 o'clock in the morning painting. Yeah. When I used to play and stuff, man, I'd start, playing at like 7 o'clock in the evening and look up and it'd be like 4 o'clock in the fucking morning going, oh, where in the hell? No wonder Crystal's asleep.
Yeah.
We had to start changing band practice for that exact when I was in a band. We did a 4 o'clock in the afternoon band practice once, and the next thing we knew it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. And we were like, oh, shit, like tomorrow's Monday. Like we were just like, damn it, like everybody had to go to work. You can totally get lost in especially music and doing stuff. So we had to switch band practice. That when we were going to do it, we had to start at like 7 in the morning. Everybody had to get up and drag their ass up groggy. So that way we could have it. And then if you got bored and tired or you thought you hit it, you could have the rest of your day. But at nighttime, it seemed like you always found that vibe, that burst of energy to just sort of let it go. It was the peace, the words of that peace, or.
Oh, hell yes.
Sure.
All the ideas flowing.
No.
So so lately for me to fall asleep, I spend a lot of time, I'm not going to lie. And I know I mentioned it, the Kansas City Canna Fest, like the Potwood Derby and all the people, like I just keep running through all the good fun times that I'm super excited that are going to fucking happen. And I'm thinking to myself, Mama Rochi, you want to know when we sleep? You'll find out come Canna Fest because we're going to keep you up just as much.
Oh, yeah, she and Caitlin are already beside themselves. I don't know how I'm going to keep them contained until we head out to Kansas City.
Me and Mom are working on my outfits for Kansas City.
A month in advance, we're working on my outfits.
Well, because we're ordering stuff off of Amazon for them, and Amazon's been really slow lately.
Really slow.
Is it the same for you guys being your location of where you're at? I mean, because you're a little bit closer to some of the main UPS hubs and stuff like that. They always say depending on where you're at, Amazon is still pretty quick with their 2-day, but we're feeling the same thing. Amazon has been hella slow.
Yeah, you don't appreciate the extent of the excitement here between these two. It's like I'm managing 2 5-year-olds counting down to Christmas.
Speaking of 5-year-olds, sorry, he just plowed over your question. So it's hit and miss. Like I ordered something for my costume, costumes that I'm going to be wearing on the weekend of Kansas City.
Why not? You just wear what you normally wear.
Because
what I normally wear.
Because I'm special.
I'm going as myself.
Okay.
I know you're special.
Well, could you be yourself back over there? Thanks. Bye.
We love you because you're special.
Bye.
Not just because you're special. We love you anyway.
I'm trying to answer Bearded's question, you asshat. Okay, so yeah, so my stuff for my costume came like rather quickly. Like I ordered it.
Hate is so easy.
Not on Monday, but like
so easy.
I already told you when I have to deal with old people all day, having to deal with them on my off time, it gets a little annoying.
Hate is so easy.
So
I'm just
that came quick. It came in like less than a week. But like mom ordered special purple packaging.
Purple packaging?
For like all the stuff we've been shipping out, and those took like 2 weeks to get here.
I tell you what, packaging is the worst right now because between the boxes, the mailers, my containers, like they take so freaking long to get here right now. It's insane. But I ordered my brake pads and they came in fucking the next day. I feel like.
Yeah, car parts they'll be here, but if it's something, here's what it is. After Corona happened, there was a giant influx in all of the different DIY ways of supporting yourself, whether it was your artwork, whether it was a talent of making things, creating things, and then reselling things like that. So that's where like, if you try to find anything that has to do with streaming right now, wanting to be a streamer, green screens are ridiculously priced compared to what they used to be.
Right.
Just for your computers, like all of that stuff is up crazy. But then same with like the keychain blanks. Like when you think about what the keychain blanks used to cost to get for 100 of them back in 2018, when people were just randomly making keychains here and there, they were able to sell like 5 keychains for $2 and still make money on them. Where now the keychain blanks themselves are costing almost still $5 a piece as a blank, because that was another revenue that people were able to put those together. They could then, Corona stopped people from being able to physically go to work, but they still had to pay their bills. So they found other ways to make money. So anything that you can put into the category of how can you take care of yourself without the man doing it, the price went up and the time to get it is now forever.
Right.
Yeah.
And what kind of dumbasses would get into a business that required streaming anyway?
True.
I can remember the first time, I think it was 2016, whatever year Fortnite came out. And I'm not a video gamer. And I always have to point that out because people like go straight into like video games. And I am not a video gamer. That's not my thing. But I was in Iowa. My best friend, other than my wife, had just moved. I mean, because obviously she's my best friend, but my best
so he says,
my best bro friend had just moved. Like he was moving to Florida, and so like he wasn't going to be around anymore. I was a concrete worker, so winter layoff had just started. So I was just kind of like, what the fuck am I going to do with my extra time? And a person that ended up becoming a really good friend later on in life was like, dude, you smoke weed, go download this game. And I was like, I don't want to download a video game. Fuck. I was telling the story it was going to go somewhere and I forgot already where it was going. So I don't even know why we started there.
Leisure Suit Larry.
I am a video gamer.
Are you?
I think
watching streamers. That's where it was. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's where some of my depression's stemming from right now, because I haven't had money to fix my Switch, and I fucking love my Switch. Straight up and down.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But yeah, back in 2016, I was like, wait a minute, people actually pay video game streamers? Like that's a thing? And so I started watching and I was like, there's no way I wouldn't pay this guy for this. And then I bet you it was less than 2 weeks of me like playing the video game, watching these streamers and really getting into it, that I found the very first streamer that I thought was worthy of me being like, you know what? I like what you do. And I gave him, my support. And so then I was like, oh shit. I just started paying a streamer, and I was like, I'll never pay for any of these video games. They have this stuff for free. And then I bought my first skin, like next thing you know, you like fall down that rabbit hole. And it's like, well, I mean,
And then at the end of the year, we went through and seen how much money he spent on fucking Fortnite.
Oh my god, it was ridiculous.
I couldn't imagine, because I know my boyfriend spends like a significant amount of money on all the different mobile games he plays. And I try to just not think about it, but I know
$5, $10, and $20 add fast.
Yeah, fast. And I know, because I spend. I'll get in these little addiction phases where I'll be addicted to a phone game for a little while, and like Farmville 3 was really slapping for a minute there, and I might have spent $9.99 a few times on that game.
I want to answer two things in your chat, or bring up two things. So Cindy Paul says Amazon is turning into wish.com, which is hilarious because they're not far behind. And then Jane says, I ordered LST clips and never got them. Jane, that sucks for real. I indeed ended up getting some from another Canna family member. Was it Cosmo or Bad Mod? Because that's where I was going to go if you needed LST clips like those. I know Bad Mod has sent us several, and I think Cosmo had a file, but there's definitely Canna fan. That sucks. I mean, Amazon I know has the LST clips for really cheap, but
yeah, you know what? Put us in touch with whoever has those too, because if Mama's gonna decide to grow, then we're gonna do some LST stuff instead of our Sea Green method normally.
Yeah, we can do that.
Right on. Yeah. Put us in touch, because I'm looking for some good LST pieces. I found some techniques I really don't like, so if these work, I'm down.
Yeah.
No, Mom, don't do Temu. That's also the new wish. Don't do it. Don't.
I gotta write shit down.
Already done it.
I gotta write shit down, otherwise I'll forget that I'm supposed to do that. And then like 4 or 5 days will be like, and you'll be like, yo, Bearded, are you ever gonna hook me up? Or we'll be in Kansas, and you'll be like, yeah, no, it would have been great, but you never did that. And I'm like, oh my god, I got high and forgot.
Oh yeah, I know how it is, bro. I try to write stuff down.
I just brainstormed right now as we were sitting here on things that we have to do for Kansas City.
You mean you wrote a list of all the shit that's going to happen, so that way you can figure out if there's enough time in the day to get it all in there?
No,
is Who Hot on there?
This is all stuff that needs to be done before we go.
Oh, that's all the stuff that needs to be done before we go to. That's a lot of fucking Post-it notes.
Wow.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Big oof.
Well, I wish you a lot of luck, brother. Like I said, my specialty is supervision, and I can do that from here.
Sherry said LST clips, ?
Low stress training.
Yes.
So you can bring your branches out, so you open up more light and budding sites.
Not that you can read it, but this is her things that need to be done before Kansas City.
Oh wow,
that's a big negative. I'm a list person. No, we need to break that down into like separate lists.
It is.
That's why it's three fucking Post-its.
You see, Mrs. B, I love this, because that's the kind of people I need to be associated with you, because I am anti-list, but everybody I'm around, I am exactly pro-list with. I'm anti-writing down anything, but everybody I hang out with, I'm very pro for them to write everything down.
Don't
listen, because it helps me remember if they do that.
Right.
Don't listen to him. We've tried to help him, and he just can't get his act together. So
beyond help.
It's hard though. Like if you are not normally somebody who is like organized or list oriented, it's hard to get into that habit. Like it's very hard.
Well, yeah, I am used to dealing with so many, even on the job, so many different things at one time that it seems like, things are chaotic and scattered, but actually they're very organized in the areas that they need to be organized in.
That's him.
But also, I can't keep up with all the information coming in, and that's why I have people help.
Yeah, I have extremely well thought out, planned, organized chaos.
How's it working?
I mean,
hot mess for no reason.
Yeah, it's not called the hot mess for no reason.
But it's working. That's the important thing.
It does. It works.
It works.
it works. It definitely causes me a lot of stress and anxiety. You know, like it is like I wish there was a way to fix it because of like
No, I get it though. I understand because I'm like the same type of way. It's something about the chaos. You need the chaos as motivation.
yeah, the chaos is what motivates, you know,
Yeah.
and so, or the chaos is what, you know, feeds maybe like that's
Yeah,
Now you see, I find the chaos kind of relaxing and
No.
feeding. Uh, you know, I don't feel it as I don't feel the chaos as necessarily a negative effect on me. So
Right.
it's interesting how chaos can kind of have different effects on different people.
Yeah, he does not enjoy the chaos.
I have less anxiety having lists made and I can cross things off that I know are done. Like I can handle the chaos. Like that's not normally an issue, but I have so much going on all the time between our children and my man-child and just jobs and my products and just keeping everything situated.
I just want you guys to know
my brain goes crazy.
I'm pretty what is
difficult.
I was gonna go with high maintenance in a
This
different way. Like I'm not like bougie high maintenance, but I am high maintenance. There's like like it's crazy. She's like the only person in the world who knows exactly what I would or would not eat. Like it's not even a question. Like if somebody brings something up or she tastes something, I can just look right at her because she knows all of the weird little things that I would be like, yep, nope, those two things couldn't go together. It would never be right. Like I wouldn't even touch it. So I'm a high maintenance person. So I mean,
I've been trying to get him to do things on his own here more recently, and he's like, "Are you leaving me? Like, what's going on right now? Are you leaving me? Like, just fucking be a grown up for a moment."
I feel like men are pickier eaters in general than women.
I've asked somebody new in her life because she's trying to get me like to prepare to
like
be
make
alone.
your own doctor's appointment. Go pick up your medication. Order food.
I can be high maintenance, but I don't have to worry about Mama Roach leaving me. Not only because she loves me, but also because she's visually impaired. And ever since I put that wireless shock collar on her, she doesn't go much past the front yard.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not too worried about Mama leaving him either, only because we have big plans for his life insurance. So.
Oh, yeah, not to mention they inherit the company. They're too poor to kill me yet.
We got big plans. Big plans.
So if I mysteriously go, if the company takes off and I have a mysterious disappearance or death, why don't look for Crystal and Caitlin. No, they would never, ever do such a thing.
Oh.
Abuse!
That's from Mom.
If only you could read the screen, you would have seen that coming.
You're just fucking with my serenity here.
Listen, we have plans, big plans for you.
You're shaking his chakra.
Yeah.
We got big plans for Master Richie.
But you see,
I'm thinking.
I still love him, even with all this mental, physical, and emotional abuse that's being dealt my way.
I'm thinking a nice non-private room and a long-term care facility in the shittiest part of town. That's my thought.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes, and you see, she's not even. You see, that's why I respect her. She's not even afraid to state her intentions and plans.
Right. I mean, I can respect that. At least you know where she's putting you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a surprise. She's not going to lie and be like, "No, we're just going out to the farm. Don't worry."
Right. Yeah, I'm not going to be like her poor family dog.
Mom said, "Don't look in my garden."
We're going to the zoo, Master Rochi. It's the zoo.
Yeah. You see. Hey, I was almost tricked into that once. Oh, we're going to go on a ride and have dinner. Yeah. Not taking me there.
That's how I feel about anybody who ever went to the Jerry Springer show.
Oh my
Right.
God.
Feel, how did anybody actually end up on that show and then surprised about it? Like, you see, there's so many people who are like, yeah, I don't know why I'm here, and they're sitting on the stage. It's like, motherfucker. Like, I think I was 8 years old when I told myself, all right, so if anybody ever says, hey, Jamie, do you want to go to the Jerry Springer show with me? No. The answer is always no. Like, if I'm going to the Jerry Springer show, it's because it was my idea and I booked myself. And you know what? You can come with me.
Brown cow.
I know like 6 people that were on the Jerry Springer show.
Why?
Well, of course you do.
There were strippers at the club that were on the Jerry Springer show.
I'm sorry, what now?
I'm not surprised.
Christy Reed, Jerry Springer show.
Well, I guess I know a few people on the Jerry Springer show too.
Yeah, you know.
Oh,
You
man.
know who Christy Reed
You
is.
know,
Kate,
like I said,
that's Mikey's cousin.
we've had an
That's Uncle
interesting
Donnie's
journey and
ex-girlfriend.
met some interesting people.
Oh fuck.
She lived in the apartment up on the hill before he married Aunt Yolanda. She was on the Jerry Springer show.
And
And
she
they
had all
fucking
those-
sent a limo down to pick her ass up and put her in a big fancy fucking hotel up in Chicago.
Mom, that bitch with all the fucking dogs that was always over at Uncle Donnie's house when he was living at Aunt Nana's house.
No,
She had all
no.
the fucking.
I'm talking about Mikey's cousin.
Is that not the same
Well,
person?
I'm not sure.
All right.
But
Anyway,
they sent a limo. Jerry Springer show like hooked these people up. They put them in a 4-star hotel downtown Chicago. Sent limos to pick them up, and all the stories on that show were lies.
Oh, yeah, most of the shit was all made up, for sure.
Oh
I could lay on the dramatics for like a nice vacation.
That's what it was basically. They would put you up in a nice hotel, send a limo out to pick you
I
up,
could do it.
and you'd go on the show
Well, of course
and
you
make the
could,
biggest
because-
ass out of yourself you could possibly
do it.
make, and it was a free vacation.
you know
I
what?
could do it.
I'm down for being exploited.
I
We have raised you to be exploited. So, yeah,
got this.
you know.
Well, I mean,
Sounds like a-
isn't it,
sounds
wait,
like a family vacation.
hold on, Master Rochi.
Yes.
Isn't that kind of what people who get into the streaming career are kind of into, is being exploited in a way?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, certainly.
When we were doing the Facebook reels, like when we first started doing
Oh,
the
I
Facebook
exploit the shit out of
reels,
Caitlin.
they like before we knew any of the
Oh,
Canna
did you
family.
ever play your one?
No, I didn't get it.
Oh no.
This was pre Canna family. Like, Mom and Matt were both exploiting my tits.
No.
Yes, you both were like, yes, wear that shirt because it makes your boobs look great, and that's great for our audience. And I
Who
was just
showed
like,
up at the prom as the Disney porno princess?
I literally can't help it that I was just
All
given,
boobs.
given these atrocities hanging off my
Yeah.
I'm too poor to get rid of them.
But your prom dress accentuated this.
You can think.
I
You can
mean,
think.
well,
No, that was Dad's fault. That was straight up and down Dad's fault, and that's what you get for trusting a dude that like is super awkward around his daughters to tie your corset.
He's your dad.
That's what.
Walt Disney meets Fritz the cat.
The tit at my
So
prom.
what you're telling everybody right now is if they go back to the older reels on Facebook, if like they scroll all the way back in the day and see some of the beginning ones, what they're gonna see is a whole bunch of cake cleavage.
Oh, and a few, not all of them.
Yeah,
The 4th of July ones from last year.
well, we
Oh,
used,
yeah.
we used to have a really
Yeah.
uncomfortable producer engineer that was running our stuff before we started getting
Oh
into
yes.
StreamYard.
Before we started doing
and
it
I
ourselves.
found it fucking hilarious to make this dude uncomfortable.
Right. So I'd ask him, I say,
Every night.
hey man, is Caitlin's tits sagging?
Every
And
night
he'd go,
before the show,
"I
I'd be like,
don't
okay, Waylon, do my boobs look okay? Am I good? I'm not saggy tonight, right?
Oh no, it was funny.
Oh yeah, that was the best part about having Waylon was making him uncomfortable.
And we wonder why we can't keep engineers.
But no, I think the show has grown immensely since since we started doing it ourselves.
But it's for real, like my shit to make people uncomfortable.
I mean, it in a way, if it can still make others smile without harming, it's
Like
it's,
the
it's
food?
Like the feet.
Oh,
Exactly like the feet.
yeah. It was all. It's all done in good humor.
yeah.
Yeah. He just
He
you
would
know,
blush and be quiet
Yeah.
and
and he also baited her and
Yeah.
got her into to stuff too. So it went both ways.
Yeah, like
It
the
went both ways.
like the socially awkward boy in high school that never talked to girls, but like had an interest in girls and like had girlfriends that lived in Canada. That's how this dude was.
girlfriend that lived in Canada.
Now wait a minute. That was me
Oh
in high
my
school.
God.
I'm gonna dab to that.
I got my bowl.
That's too much.
Girlfriends in Canada,
That's
like
too
in
much.
Canada. Well, cheers.
My girlfriend was in Brazil,
That's even worse.
South America.
That's even worse. You're worse, honey. You're
Well,
worse.
I know you.
I love you.
I know you.
I love you.
I know you.
I love you.
I know you.
Okay.
I gotta pee again.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
congratulations.
But now, aren't you kind of exploiting your boobs now with the "Show Me Your Doobies" shirt right on your
Oh, that
boobies?
was my idea.
No, it's mom's idea.
Yeah, her
Oh.
mother's exploiting her boobs.
Again, damn
No,
it.
it was okay. So you guys don't have any clue how Master Rochi and me are.
No,
Like,
but we do
every
know that you used to work in a
Right.
place that had upright poles for support. So I mean, the fact that
Right,
you're
right.
all boobs makes a lot of
Here,
sense.
I'm gonna go.
I'm just gonna kneel. So right.
You gotta go pee.
So, okay.
Here, you sit in the
You
seat.
go pee.
Sit in the seat.
You go pee.
It's okay. Just sit in the seat. It's all
Come
people
join
who
us.
know.
Get on camera.
Mom, they're your friends. They're your friends. They're your friends.
Yeah, camera's this way.
We don't bite. We don't bite unless asked.
So you have to understand, when I danced, I was 98 pounds.
We
Okay.
danced at the place that had all the
Young
supports.
and young. so anyways, the whole relationship between me and him is him grabbing my boobies. It's a constant thing. And I'm always smacking him and telling him to stop constantly. So the "Show Me Your Doobie" shirt was like a shout out to him.
So I don't do it on camera because she has the stare that can hurt. But
Right?
I am always grabbing on her boobies unless we are on camera. Like always.
Right? It's a man thing.
And
Yeah.
Crystal has no peripheral vision at all.
So it's even worse.
So it's fantastic. She has no idea it's coming until it's there.
Right.
And then if I'm fast, normally I'm faster than her. So by the time I pull my hand away, she's smacking her own boobie. So I get a handful and entertainment.
Yeah.
But it's all in fun. It's all in fun.
Yeah, I mean, today she was laying in bed. She was in her robe, and she was working. And I reached, up to. I like to touch her nose. I like to flick her nose just as a random, hello, I love you kind of thing.
Oh, he likes to stick his finger in my ear.
Her ears are off limits because of her. She has Meniere's, so her ears are. I mean, I used to stick my finger in her ears or play with her earlobes, wet willies. But as soon as she was diagnosed with Meniere's, like the ears were off limits. But I still like to fuck with her. She doesn't rest. I mean, again, my love language is touch. Hers is not. She is a touch me not. She is a full-fledged touch me not.
Right.
I like to reach up to touch her face, and then sometimes she'll think I'm coming to touch her face, and she will allow it. But I'll trick her, and I'll go up for the face, and then I'll do a boob grab.
Right.
And then after that, then the face touching is off limits because she can't trust where I'm going to go. So then it's like, which hand's going to do what? Am I going to touch the face or am I going to grab the boob?
He does it to me. He does the same thing.
No, you see, yes, because
And
she's
Bearded
much
Stoner does it too.
but it's weird because when I was skinny and tiny, I loved to hug and touch and play.
only if we're in traffic.
But now that I'm chunky, fat, now I'm fat mommy. I used to not be fat, but now that I'm fat, I don't like to be touched. It's like I been on all sides of the spectrum. I've been the tiny, beautiful girl. I've been the popular girl. I've been the, you know what I mean? And now I'm like at a stage in my life where I don't care what people think about me because I'm happy.
Yeah.
But
He's supposed to be sexy as fuck, so him touching your boobs is supposed to be hot. Take it.
the thing about that is,
Take it.
the thing about that is, it just drives me crazy now. It's so weird. But we're fun. I mean, we do. I'll be laying on the couch watching TV and he'll jump on top of me and just start yelling, "Kudos and hoogies!" and just hug me, you know?
Trying to spread the good vibe, get that positive energy up. Who
yeah.
doesn't like kudos and hoogies?
Me.
I tell her all the time, prepare yourself. She's like, please don't fucking lay on me. And I was like, it's too late. It's coming, babe. And I will come and I will flop down on top of her.
But see, the funny thing is, too, is I'm a hugger. If I meet someone, I hug. I'm a hugger. But don't touch me if I don't want to be touched.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of people are that way, you know.
And you wonder why I get confused.
So Mrs. Bearded's favorite thing, let me just tell everybody who's going to be there, her favorite
This
thing
is
when you
facetious.
Yeah,
I'm assuming?
her favorite thing when you meet her or you talk to her is do one of these to her when you talk to her, rubber arm shoulder back thing, and just be like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And make sure you call her sweetie, baby, or doll. Oh, and hun.
Oh, and hun?
Yeah, hun, honey, sweetie.
Those are like the most
doll.
impersonal. And as a one of them girls that worked in one of them places with the tall ceiling supports, that was like, I never used those, but I used pumpkin butt.
Right.
I think for me, those terms coming from somebody you don't know well
Are
it's
uncomfortable.
fake. It's fake. Like, you don't know me. Don't call me honey. Don't call me
Right.
hon. Don't call me sweetie. Like, you don't know me. I could be the biggest bitch in the world, and you're calling me a sweetie. Just don't.
I started calling a waitress at a bar that we went to good and plenty.
Oh my God.
From a caregiver's perspective, I call a lot of people babes and mama.
Right.
I'm okay with mama. Mama doesn't bother me at all.
Because we had a lot of kids.
I've got a lot of adopted children.
A lot of adopted children. So.
But in my defense, she was good and plenty.
Oh my God.
Oh, your own little crack-headed world.
He's in his own little world.
Yeah, no, but Mama Rochi, I mean, you kind of followed a little bit along with the P90X story. I mean, Mrs. Bearded in high school when we met, she was a cheerleader, so she was
right.
small, tiny, and flexible. And then, I gave her
throw that flexible in there. Huh?
And then I gave her Chaz. I gave her Chaz. And
right.
Then she became the Christina that, everybody else knows and loves. And
right.
she doesn't like it, but I don't know. She jokes around because
I think that no matter your weight, I mean, you still see yourself. I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, that's not me. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you're beautiful. I think you're gorgeous. I love the long red hair. I think you are absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
And I'm like I said, I didn't gain all the weight that I have until after my heart attack. So
jail helped a little bit.
Yeah, I went to jail and that helped me. I put on
because
about 20
she basically
pounds.
had an unlimited commissary.
Well,
Well, and the titty milk in the sink.
Yeah, let me tell you, I was lied to. I thought you was a lot nicer, Mrs. B.
Bearded Tanner got to meet the nice me because we met for the first time. And then the second time it was fucking game on because you've now met me at least once.
I like you.
You know me, so now it's on, right?
And I like you. I think you're actually kind of a cool person. So now, game on. And we told him, so this CannaFest is going to be the third time for him and Mrs. B, and of course me and him.
Well, you guys are all staying in the same house, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yep. On.
Yeah, which is again, it's also the same. I mean, so Bearded Stoner has we've stayed in the same location at all three. So this will be his third time, staying in the same place with Mrs. B. So I know that we told him third time's a charm, buddy. You better be ready. You know,
It's like family now. You fucked.
That's it. Listen, you better keep them boys in line.
I love everybody, but we will never stay with a group of you because bad things happen when I stay in groups like that. I've learned. I have learned that I can come and visit, but staying is a very bad idea.
So I feel you there. I feel you for sure on that, and I can tell you, with as much fun as we always have, no matter what, we're now. I think the difference is when we do these get-togethers or these gatherings, we still while out and act like kids, and then we're like, but remember, we're still grown-ups and we have to deal with this tomorrow like responsible people.
Right?
Like, yeah, we should probably go to bed now. Like it's getting late.
That's the problem I seem to have when I do this stuff because it's different groups that this is happening with.
CannaCon Chicago was horrible.
I get some bad ideas and nobody tells me no.
CannaCon Chicago was business to business, right?
Or I get so messed up I almost black out from mushrooms and cannabis. And she abandons me.
Oh no, I told Sarah, which is Sarah with no H, which is Sarah Kasim. Sarah Kasim. I told Sarah, I'm like, take him, have fun. I'm going to bed. He didn't make it back to the room till about 4:30 in the morning, and he's like, lock the door and don't answer it. And I'm like, oh my God, what did you do?
No, we were staying at the Hyatt in Chicago, and I
just put him off on if I get tired, I'm going to my room and going to bed. He can go do whatever he wants.
So anyway, I get mixed up in a street theater with another lady I had never seen in my life. That just happened when we were walking down the street. She turned out to have the penthouse.
Yeah, Sarah Kasim had the penthouse at the Hyatt Regency.
And the Pop brothers-in-law were out here. I met them because the older brother comes running down the steps going, I am the gold medal champion of drink carrying. And
it was a time.
Anyway, I met all kinds. Anyway, everything's starting to switch. We're moving from the street, and Sarah said something about going up to her place, and Crystal says, I'm going to bed, you can have him. And promptly turned around and left. That was it. And went back to the room. And I've been drinking tequila. I've been smoking cannabis. I hadn't really slept and just ate a handful of mushrooms. That night, I met Vaporizer Steve, Sarah, the Pop Brothers.
Some band he doesn't know.
Some band I rode up with somebody that they just got off stage because they're still in their stuff. Somebody said somebody was going.
You guys were going to try to go backstage to some concert that was going on.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Anyway,
Sarah was.
And they said, no, we're doing this. I was hiding because Sarah was on the phone to these clubs demanding that they open their doors at 5 a.m. because she has a party. And it's like, no, I got to drive back home. Don't answer the door for God's sakes.
I have Dog rubbing on me. I have Miss Kitty rubbing on my toes.
You just stay right there. I'll take care of the animals.
Oh, you'll take care of the animals? Dog doesn't like when I leave the living room.
But that's the kind of responsible, wife I have. She always looks after me.
I am not part of this whole ordeal.
So now you guys are also driving there, correct?
Yeah. We have a big comfortable car, so.
Yet she won't let me go to Vegas alone.
Nope.
Vegas is so much fucking fun, though.
Yeah, but him alone?
Well,
no.
Alan's gonna
with Alan Stein, the power hitter guy. No. Ain't happening.
What possible trouble could two old men get into?
No.
Lots of trouble.
Can I go with him?
Certainly, but
you don't qualify as a certified adult caretaker.
and you have to agree that if you happen to end up naked in some place that you're unfamiliar with, you accept it as a possibility.
I appreciate everything naked. So again,
Yeah, Alan's, I don't know if you know who Alan Stein or the Power Hitter. Have you seen those? He's got one. Alan Stein owns the company that makes those
okay.
Power Hitters. Okay.
Yeah, you put your blunt or your cone or your joint in
Yeah, it's like
here.
a shotgun maker.
Yeah,
It is a shotgun maker. That's exactly what it is. He's the guy that owns that company. And I could not see him and Matt, no way, possibly ever in Vegas together alone. Because that is just trouble waiting to happen.
I mean,
oh no. Oh no. Two guys in their late 50s, early 60s, smoking weed, doing mushrooms in Vegas ain't happening. They'll both end up in jail.
I got a question for you, Bearded.
I got an answer.
Okay, this is gonna really tell me.
I can't even see the comments.
This is gonna really tell me your true character.
Peter, you're watching the comments.
If
I know.
just to say,
I think
just
Jane
throwing
Doe
it out here.
And there's just a couple
we
in
were
there.
partying in, say, Chicago, and there was a bunch of 20-something Euro trash that wanted us to go dancing in a club with them.
Yeah, but we were together at that
Would
point.
you remove your hat
to go into the club?
to go into the club with this Euro trash?
No.
Or would you say no?
No, I don't take my hat off.
That was it. They never asked him to take his hat off, but they asked all the young guys that were with us, which were...
Yeah, because of the gang stuff.
Because of the gang stuff. They had ball caps
but
on.
It's like, guys...
The guys refused to take their hats off.
Euro trash to party with. Isn't that worth sacrificing a hat?
No,
Look, Jane can go to Vegas with you.
I'm pretty adamant about my hat as well.
Jane says she's a certified adult caretaker.
Boom.
I'm also a certified adult caretaker, but I ain't going to Vegas with this.
Jane Doe. Jane Doe says Jane Doe can go with you.
I accept Jane as a chaperone.
I accept Jane as a chaperone.
Because I'm not fucking doing it.
I got you.
Oh, there's my wink.
There's my wink.
Yeah.
Do it one more time. Do it one more time.
No.
Do it.
No. But
That is his original.
like you were already sleeping.
I accept.
I just saw a picture of you already sleeping. What do you mean you're off to bed?
You're off to bed. You and the bunny were sleeping in the chair. What are you talking about?
Like you just woke up and realized you aren't in bed.
Yeah.
I don't know. About a half hour ago, Stephanie was on Riff's live and she was chasing the bunny.
Is that a new drug term I haven't heard? Chasing the bunny?
Somebody please explain these new terms.
The dragon, man, but chasing the bunny I never heard of.
Elderly men.
Oh,
jeez, and I'm married to him.
I'm sorry, baby.
All yours.
I've been spending the last 2 weeks chasing the bunny.
Ooh, what's this?
Mrs. Bearded that says that stuff all the time. Anytime I say something silly, dumb, or inappropriate, she looks at the camera and she's like, "That's right."
Oh, I was looking at.
Yeah, what is it with it? With them. I mean, don't they think that we know that we just said something inappropriate? Do we need the look to tell us that we just said something inappropriate? No, I don't think so. Give us a little credit. We are smarter than you think. We know what we just said.
You can look at these nuts.
Well, most people do. I'm pretty much oblivious to what I say.
Did you hear Caitlin? She said you can look at these nuts.
Caitlin, put your nuts away.
Put your nuts away, Caitlin. It's not that kind of live.
That's why I'm not on camera.
Yes, thank God.
I don't want to be on camera.
No, there's several countries that don't allow that shit.
Our other camera is streaming directly to our OnlyFans, and that's what I'm over here doing.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're doing your OnlyFans stuff. Gotcha. Hey, you gotta pay rent. You gotta pay rent. No hate.
Right. And only if she had a fan.
Yeah.
Get ready to start up that OnlyFans to spread the word. I'm very poor.
Hey, you know what? I'm all ready for my tasty nudes.
Oh my goodness. No.
Not for you.
Yes, for me.
No, because I
Please,
need
no.
the money.
No,
Nickelback.
we coin flipped on this, and I won. It's my OnlyFans.
Okay.
Yeah, but
It was my
money.
tasty
Is it
nudes
hot in
against
here?
your feet.
No, it's me.
Is it hot in here? Why is it now your OnlyFans?
No.
I'm sorry, I have this effect on Mama occasionally. She just can't help it.
Oh, so she's gonna have to start taking her clothes off.
I'm just getting old. It's a woman thing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, it's a woman thing.
Some people call them hot flashes, but for you, it's flashbacks to the.
It's flashbacks. That's right. Right. Absolutely.
Oh, I always thought that was the Southern mating call.
Oh God.
Is it getting a little hot in here? I'm
No.
gonna be a little tipsy.
No.
You think you could still work that building support?
Oh fuck no.
Oh, oh hell no! She can't even get off the couch.
Oh no.
She looks like a cross between a turtle
You
and a
should have seen me
sloth
do. You should
trying
have.
to get out of this.
You should have
this
seen me
deep
doing the
couch.
yoga.
Don't talk
Okay,
about
I
how-
tried the yoga with you guys. I couldn't do it. I did what I could.
Hey, so did I. I
He
did
was
what I
laughing at me because I was doing the warrior pose, and I'm going, I'm the warrior. She's like, Mom, I can't even with you, and I'm like, oh, Kate,
Yeah.
I'm a warrior.
And I was there singing Scandal. You know,
The thing,
I am the warrior.
no, you came out of here and you were like, "What the fuck are you two doing?" The whole house is shaking, and I was like, "We're doing yoga."
Well, it sounded like basic training out in the
Oh my God, it was hard.
out in the front room.
Eyes going
You know,
down.
ass up, ass down, head up. Downward dog.
Okay, so I couldn't see the TV because I was down on the floor, and I have no peripherals, none.
Right.
And so Kate's like yelling at me, telling me what to do next, and I'm like, plank, downward dog, upward dog. But I'm like,
Did you push up?
Leg up, out.
I
Leg
did
up,
good
leg
though.
back,
I
leg
did
up,
good
leg
for
back.
about 15 minutes, and then I was sweating so bad, and I'm like, okay, I can't do this. I'm done. I quit.
No,
Well, and that's the P90X part, and he's even said it in a couple of videos. He's like, "This is normally where most workout videos and stuff would be done. This is a good workout." He goes, "But now we're doing this is P90X, and so you basically do everything again."
Right?
Oh, fuck. You know,
My daughter Jamie, she's like, Mom, don't do the P90X. You know that's killed people, right? And I'm like, oh my God. She said, no, Mom, I'm serious. It's caused people to have heart attacks. And I'm like, I've already done that.
Mom,
You
Jamie,
know?
the thing about Jamie is she's a fucking hypochondriac.
Jamie is a
about
hypochondriac.
everything.
Yeah.
I am not.
No, our daughter. You see the picture on Master Rochi's page, the one with the girl with the really long hair and the T-shirt in our Master Rochi T-shirt. That is our 18-year-old daughter.
Okay. She's like,
She-
I'm gonna go look by meow.
Yeah, she is something else.
She's a
She's-
hypochondriac.
She is 94 pounds of. I have every disease there is.
I swear to God, I swear.
Well,
Up and down,
well, there are some diseases that she may have.
She willed her gallbladder into
Yes,
a diseased
she was-
state.
She's going in for
Somehow.
gallbladder surgery next week.
Yeah, she's.
Like, we have the same genetics, and I've controlled my gallbladder problems through through diet. But somehow, this little girl has willed her gallbladder into a diseased state to where she has to go have
She
it
has to go
fucking
have it removed. Don't get me wrong, I love my daughters, but Jamie's Jamie.
She's a fucking wackadoodle is what the fuck she is.
Jamie is mini me. She is built just like me. She looks just like me, and oh my God, she gives me hell just like I gave my mother.
Now you just gotta keep her from working in those buildings with the tall building supports.
I'll
Right?
kill her.
Oh, I don't know. That might be her
That might be her calling.
Her best career path
kill her.
right now, other
I'll kill
than
her.
stamp liquor or something.
They don't have those anymore because now they just print the stamps. They make them.
Right, they're all sticky back.
Well, then her career choices have greatly narrowed.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, she is smart. Her and Kate both. They're both super intelligent kids.
You're just saying that because Kate's right there.
No, she is. Kate, she's smart. Jamie's smart too, but Jamie makes stupid decisions. Let's just put it that way.
Oh yeah, she makes Caitlin look like a wise, trusted elder as far as decision making.
That's crazy. You've had like almost an entire hour-long show on Kate's bad decisions. So.
Oh, I know,
yeah.
I know, but Kate's bad decisions are I forgot to get gas.
And that's just what happened in one day.
Right. That was the bad decisions in one day.
Right.
Oh
An
no!
hour-long
But
show.
I'll tell you what, my kids are amazing. I mean, I couldn't ask for better.
Don't
ask
lie.
for better.
Don't
No,
lie.
honestly,
you could ask for better. It just wouldn't make it any more fun.
Well, no, you know what? They didn't give me half the hell that I gave my mother as a teenager. And
For real.
I can honestly say that they're good people and they have good, I mean, the only bad thing is, and I don't know if you have this issue with your boys, politics. Do not talk politics with an 18-year-old because, oh my God, it is the worst.
So we live in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
And Landon, came from Iowa where people were pretty open about everything. And his first experience, because we've always said, you don't talk politics because, people get really upset about it and blah, blah, blah. So then when he moved to Texas, right, politics and religion are off the table as far as we talk about. So then when we moved to Texas and we are in East Texas, politics and religion are not off the table. And,
no, you are in straight Republican country.
And as far as social groups in high school goes, your politics and your religion actually matter to some of these kids. Like,
oh yeah,
like it's like Landon says, no, currently so and so is fighting right now because Trump said this, and I was like, so one of them was a Trump supporter and another one wasn't, and like prior to they used to be boyfriend and girlfriend, and then they broke up, and then they basically couldn't stand each other because one was a Trump supporter and the other one wasn't, and he's like, it's just crazy, Dad. And I was like, yeah, I know, like it's
right.
You don't want to leave politics out of it.
The funny part about that is Jamie is a screaming liberal.
I think I have,
but
political views.
She would have voted Trump because he's out there and he runs his mouth. You know what I mean? He's not afraid of anything.
He was the wild card.
He's not a politician.
Right. He's not a politician.
Nope.
But okay, when the abortion ban whatever got lifted, and it was an argument with Jamie. She's like, Mom, I'm losing my birth control. And I'm like, no, you're not. I'm like, just stop. You're too much. It's like with
I can never have sex again.
It's like the end of the world and I'm like, go vote. That's all I said to her. I'm like, go vote.
They're forcing us to pull out.
Well, my comments were, how about condoms or absinthe?
Absinthe.
I like to drink absinthe.
Actually, guess absinthe. It's got wormwood in it, which will kill the baby.
Absinthe will work.
Kills more than babies. I think I've sacrificed more brain cells to absinthe than
but
anything
it
else.
Seems like the politics with teenagers, it's so dramatic to them.
It's not dramatic to me. I think we just need to overthrow the whole entire fucking government.
So it's dramatic to you.
It's not dramatic. Just overthrow it all, goddammit. Let's start over.
Right.
Anarchy!
And the alphabet soup of government agencies that just heard that is their opinions, not mine. I'm a proud American. I will believe whatever the government tells me I need to believe. So please don't make me disappear, but you can disappear these other two.
Just put it on the news tomorrow and I'll
right. But I mean, it's just so weird how different kids are now.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the apocalypse.
Like When I was 18, politics was like the last thing on my mind.
Right.
Well, not for me.
Well, your parents were school teachers.
Well, I was in the army. I was in the army too, and politics kind of seemed to,
Honestly,
at that
Ma,
time they were singing 99 Luftballoons.
Honestly, Ma, I could give a shit less about
I
politics.
grew up in the 80s.
but
What are you
like I
talking
said,
about?
Well, that's when I was in the army, Dana Lane.
Yeah, I know.
My political standpoint: to overthrow the government. I want no more government. That's all I want.
Oh, you want to hear a weird perspective?
I want to be able to
I'm
do
a little-
cocaine and acid in the comfort of my own home.
I'm a little older than Crystal.
Yeah, oh yeah.
A little older. So let me put this in perspective for how much older I am than her. It would be like when I was a senior in high school, looking at a kindergartner going, I'm going to marry you, babe. So, little bit of age difference, but when you look at it in that kind of perspective, it's like
The biggest thing to remember is that Matt sat behind Jesus in grade school.
And you know what? He was really cool. I learned a lot from that dude, man.
He taught me so much.
Yeah. If you stop and listen to him, you can learn something too.
It's terrible.
Yeah, don't you get it? Jesus, Matthew, any correlation there? Yeah, I knew the dude. I knew him.
Oh my god.
To go back on the politics in school at the same time, like you don't necessarily want politics in school, because how could you give the kids the information they need without being biased?
Without being biased, yeah.
Well, you see,
I agree with that. I agree.
At the same time, you're not giving them the information, and then they all of a sudden, just like we didn't have politics in school. So then
we didn't have politics, but we had government, and
Right.
they taught us both sides. It wasn't. I don't think it was ever as electrified as it is now.
Our teachers here are really bad about their
Keeping their
politics,
bias, yeah.
keeping their biases to themselves. But
my worst thing was, I think, with Jamie was while she's in high school, and granted, we live, just outside of Terre Haute, so Jamie went to West Terre Haute High School. The worst thing I think was, no, don't take this the wrong way, but she had a transgender teacher, which is all good. Okay, and I'm okay. You do you, whatever,
right.
But don't push your belief onto my child. Teach them what they need to be taught and send them home, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, "Oh my God, Mom, you have to see Mrs. So-and-so's Insta, because she's got all these kids on Instagram." And I'm thinking,
I hate that.
I'm thinking, okay, this is a man with a beard wearing a dress teaching my child, and then he's on Instagram, like spewing his stuff
And
to
exploiting your children.
to 13 to 18-year-olds, and I'm thinking that shouldn't be allowed.
No.
Right.
When I was in school, we had what they called current events.
Yep.
That you'd bring in newspaper articles, or they would read it, and we'd have open discussions in classes. Now, most of our teachers were on the liberal side, as were my parents. I am not, but we lived in a very conservative area, so you would hear all kinds of different points of view, and nobody got upset. Nobody got in fist fights after class.
Well, I think everybody should hear different points
Right.
of view, but I don't think it should be that way in school.
Well, I think it's important that there is. That's what school's for, is open communication, learning how to understand the other point of view without expressing emotions, looking at it logically, and
Well, and I
processing
have
it.
nothing against transgender men, women, or the other. I have plenty of friends, lots of friends.
No, but they should be professional.
But I
and,
think
and,
in a
and
teaching
the relationship
situation,
ends at the school door.
yeah, I don't think they should be friends on Instagram.
And that's the way it always should be.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
Or
sorry.
the-
It's so bad.
My
My
parents would
point of
never-
view at school is, if we can accept those kids who think they're cats or dogs and need kitty litter boxes in their bathrooms, we can accept listening to both sides of fucking politics.
Exactly.
Like,
No,
there
yeah.
shouldn't be any issue with teaching children both sides of politics if you're going to push the inclusion of
Right.
All the other stuff, you have to
Absolutely.
push that on politics as well.
Absolutely.
Right. You can't have that. You can't have that bias. You have to show equal sides. But my parents, both of them were teachers, and none of them would either consider being friends of students outside of the
Outside of the
classroom.
classroom, yeah,
Right.
no way.
Yeah, because
You're not supposed to.
you're not. Yeah, as a teacher, whatever you do outside of your students' daily lives, which is school, that should be what you do and not what this kid. Like, I have no problem with you even having I mean, it's no different than dancers who, there's plenty of
Are we talking
teachers,
about the upright poles?
the upright pole dancers.
Yeah.
Upright pole dancers who were teachers. Like, you didn't see them inviting kids to birthday parties at
Right.
the pole building.
No.
you know?
Right.
So,
Right. That's like all well and good
but
because
now we have the internet, so I mean, it's no
everything's everywhere.
if now teachers get busted because a student found them online doing porn. They weren't advertising it to the student, but because the teacher did porn and the student happened to understand Google and how Google works, probably something silly where the kid took a picture of his teacher and did a Google image search, and it was like, right here, Pornhub.com. Here she is taking him in the ass. And he's like, Mom, look, here's me.
Yeah, you see, and that's the big difference of when I grew up. They've taken all the fun and mystery out of this because before you had to break into your older brother's best friend's Foot Locker to get a copy of a 10-year-old Playboy that could barely be open.
Not because the pages were stuck together, but because the pages were old.
Right. Exactly. To get a little bitty boob shot.
Oh no.
I just remember
catalog. Don't you lie.
Or a National Geographic,
A National Geographic for real.
Right.
Go to my grandparents during the summer. My grandfather had every single copy. I used to go there, and I was
you
like,
look at the African women with the plates in their ears, and
I'd be like, oh, I'm just doing a school project over the summer, going through your National Geographics, like, oh, boobies.
the indigenous tribes.
And you know what? medical research is also very good for pictures. Especially like the before pictures or after Reconstruction pictures, very informative. But back when I grew up, there was still so much mystery and and discovery, and it was fun. Now it's a search away.
Yeah.
And I think that has hurt us a lot.
Oh, Jane said good night. I never even saw it. Do we even have anybody on here anymore?
Matt needs this.
Or is it just us?
Matt needs that. Here, you can unplug my phone for a second.
What's it say in the top corner? It should say right there.
I don't have my glasses on.
4, I think.
4?
4. Who's with us? Say hello.
Yeah, we got 4.
Where did you hear my phone?
Well, I think my TV's on in the other room.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Not see it?
Well, fine. People don't find this conversation stimulating.
See?
Our asses! If they don't find this conversation to be the tits, they can suck our asses!
And welcome back, Kate.
Kate the Talent is back.
She's sitting right here. She's sitting on the bed.
Yeah.
Oh, you bounced my pipe off.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Was that
my great big long.
Oh, your long pipe. It was sitting up on the bookcase.
Obviously, it was teetering.
Yeah,
Well, it was after that minor disruption.
She bounced the whole house.
I got a little excited there. I really like telling people to suck my ass.
Thank you, Jolly Green. You know what?
Oh, Jolly's still here.
Jolly!
I knew that I could always count on you, unlike that coward Cosmo that failed.
And look at the pretty feet up there for Cosmo.
Yeah. After we went to all the trouble.
I was actually gonna say, since Cosmo went to bed, do you guys want to do you want to take the feet off the screen?
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Here.
Katie has to do it.
Here,
I can't see right
Smell
now.
this pillow.
I don't want to smell the pillow.
Smell my fucking
It smells
pillow.
like
Don't
Matt's head.
smell that. You don't know what I did to that pillow.
It smells like
It smells like you rubbed it on your fucking pits.
So it smells like onions.
No, but I bet Caitlin's gonna have pink eye in 2 days.
I wasn't even eating that fucking pillow then.
Oh my god. Well, Jolly was the only one still in there. You can pull Jolly up on the.
Yeah, get Jolly in here.
You have to
You
do
have
it.
to do it.
No, I don't.
I'm not doing it.
You have to
I can do it actually.
Send the link to Jolly. Mom, get your ass back here. You're me now.
I can
I'm
do it.
you now. Yeah, I don't like getting on camera.
Mom.
Oh, the reason I'm keeping the sunglasses on is because of the mushrooms I ate earlier.
And their prescription.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I
Did
still
you
have,
send
I
it
still
to
have to
Jolly?
do this to read that.
I'm working on it right meow.
Sending it to Jolly.
I can't see. What
Yep.
are you doing?
Holly,
What are you doing?
Oh my God, Caitlin!
put your boobs away. Oh no, Kate, get that thing out of here.
Put it back up there. Put it back up there. I just want to show
What
him.
the fuck are you gonna do
I
to my
just want
foot?
to show him. I wear an extra large glove. So
My
did
feet
you
are
say
only.
that was side by
She
side?
doesn't have that big of feet.
Listen
She wears
here,
a
you
9.
fuck.
They're not that big. I wear a 7. She wears a 9.
JP is sleeping.
You gotta have big feet to support this big, beautiful woman. So eat a dick.
Yeah, she told you.
So
Yep. Still doesn't change my opinion.
still
If
don't
you've
see
seen a
Jolly.
hobbit's foot, you've seen
No,
everything.
Jolly's not going to jump on because MJP's already in bed.
oh,
All right.
That's
Been
fair.
getting up and going to work really early these last few days, so.
It's fair. It is 12:30 at night.
I've been like trying to sleep, but like when Kate stays, I don't go to bed till 2:30 or 3:30, and then Kate wakes me up at 5:30 when she leaves.
And I'm on a manic upswing, so I haven't. been
And then
going
if
to
I
bed
don't get
early.
a text from her by like 8:30, I'm like, okay, I'm going back to bed. Kate, you didn't text me and tell me you made it to work. Or she butt dials me and wakes me up, and I have to listen to her talking to residents.
Isn't it crazy how these fucking smartphones have this facial recognition lock screen, but you can still fucking butt dial people?
Oh yeah.
How the fuck am I pocket dialing people if my face isn't in my pocket?
She butt dialed me. Was it yesterday morning?
It was today.
Oh, today. She butt dialed me at 8, and I could hear her going, come on, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. And I could hear some lady screaming in the background.
It was the resident.
And then I hung up, and I'm like, oh, she must not know I'm on the phone. I'm like, Kate. And then at like 20 minutes later, my phone rings again, and all I hear is Kate yelling, I think some of these people damn lost their damn minds.
No,
And I'm like,
my exact quote was, "I think these people have done lost their motherfucking minds."
and I'm like, oh, she must have butt dialed me again. So I hung up and I called her back, and I'm like, Kate, you know, I just heard what you said. And she's like, what?
Yeah, because I was in with a resident. I was yelling at a resident.
Yeah, and families trust her to care for their
Oh,
loved
this
ones.
guy loved it.
If they heard
no,
If they heard how she wants to treat me and she talks about them,
the thing
yeah,
is,
there would be an investigation, baby, an investigation.
if they met you, they'd fucking understand. But the thing is some of these crotchety old men, they just really love to be verbally abused.
Why are you on me?
Hi, kitty kitty.
Oh, you look like our kitty kitty.
What? Is yours 30 pounds?
No.
He was when he was a kitten.
30 pounds.
He is 30
He
pounds.
was when he was a kid.
Look at this.
Yeah, like when
And you said he never loves on you.
He doesn't.
Shrek was in his like
This is because I'm sitting in his chair.
yeah, when Shrek was like between the ages of like 1 year to 5 year, he was a big, huge cat. But after that, he hasn't slowed down any, but he's no longer like he's definitely gotten old and smaller and smaller and smaller. But he loves just like that.
He's 2.
Yeah. See, when Shrek was 2, he was about that size.
Yeah, he weighs 30 pounds.
I think he was 22 pounds. Shrek was.
But we haven't gotten him fixed. So I'm afraid once we get him fixed, he's really going to be big. But he doesn't go outside, so I don't know. He's ginormous.
He's a big baby.
At least he has normal feet. We had our cat that we named that is named Shrek, who looks identical to your cat. But ours is named Shrek. He's a polydactyl. He's got
Oh, yeah, he's got 5 toes.
yeah, he's got an extra toe on each.
Well, this is
Cool.
Burt Reynolds.
Burt.
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds. The kids named him. So
The crackhead.
which crackhead?
Jamie the crackhead.
Jamie the crackhead.
Me and Jamie both named
They
him.
both named
Not
him.
you, Jamie.
Right. Yeah. No, I didn't name your cat.
No,
No.
our other daughter, because it was supposed to be her cat.
Isn't it funny how kids have you get animals and then all of a sudden they no longer are their animals anymore?
I have a ginormous white Pekin duck out in the backyard.
I have a ginormous Saint Bernard in my house that my son begged me to keep. Said, Dad, this is the one that I want. This is this one. This one has to stay. We have to keep him forever. And now he like yells at that same exact dog if he even thinks about coming in his room. He's like, get out, Dank. And I'm like, dude, that was your dog. He's like, no, I never once made that my dog. And I was like, you little lying shit. You know you wanted that motherfucker out of the litter. He's
That
like,
was
"Well,
the only one he would come in and grab out of the pen and take it in his room and snuggle with him. And
Well,
he
we
just had
started
to
with
keep him.
what? 1 Pekin duck. Then it went to 4 Pekin ducks. Or 5 Pekin ducks. 5 Pekin ducks because
I don't know. I had
the
nothing to do
one
with
duck
the
was sad and talked to himself in the car tires all the
Peking
time.
duck?
Big ducks, not little ducks.
Yes, we care for the
Well,
ducks'
you know,
mental
let's
health.
start from the beginning. So a couple doors down, there's this crackhead whore, and she decided it'd be a good idea to buy a bunch of waterfowl and chickens and shit. And then she got arrested and abandoned her waterfowl and chickens and shit. And most of them got killed by the neighbors' dogs. But then this big duck just wandered its way over to Mom's yard and adopted Mom's yard as its home.
So I took it in and started taking care of it. And then Jamie decided,
Oh, yeah, so we ended up buying a children's pool to fill it up because, yes, the duck has to have a place to swim.
That
And then there's a fox on the loose, so we've got to build a pen for the duck because we got to protect the duck from the fox.
oh, that was when we had 5 ducks. Because the
Oh, that's when
fox
we
got
had
one of the
5
ducks.
yeah.
And 2 children's pools.
So, honey,
All because of one crackhead.
So, now,
whore
so then,
decisions.
like, one of the ducks died. The original duck died. And Jamie was so heartbroken that
Chicken feeders,
she would not touch,
heated water bowls,
would not go and take care of the other ducks.
foul water bowls.
so now
So-
she's given up the responsibilities of the duck taker.
Because the other ducks, after the big duck died, they plucked it. And ducks do
Insulation.
that.
Right.
And they
Straw.
plucked the big
Food.
duck, which was her baby. And she would not have anything to do with the rest of the ducks. So I gave them all away. The neighbor behind us had females. We had males. I gave them all to him. And one of them decided he did
And
not
the
want
next
to be there.
Day the duck came back.
And he has been here by himself ever since. And that was 6 months ago. So I still have 1 duck.
One duck.
One duck.
We have a monk duck in his monastery.
Yeah, there's bitches on the other side of the fence. He just doesn't.
He
want
doesn't want them.
So, yep, he gave
think-
up the world and put himself away in his monastery where he eats and
Eats and gets in the pool and then
Uh-huh.
comes. He's been doing the same thing the first duck did, though. He comes up and stares at himself in the car tire.
where can I find my monastery besides an illegal old
Well,
folks
our Lincoln
home?
has the really shiny rims, so he like sees his reflection and talks to himself, and that's it. And he sits there for hours and talks to himself.
Oh yeah, so we finally
That's because he's all by himself.
I put mirrors out. He loves them.
Yeah, we finally bought the duck his own fucking mirror so he wouldn't be lonely and could talk to himself and see his reflection better than off the car rims.
Are you leaving me? What are you
And
doing?
does he enjoy the mirror more than the tire rims now, or does he still go back to the tire rim?
Oh yeah, no, he
Well, he likes the mirrors, but he still talks to the car tire.
yeah, it's like his old friend. You know,
Fucking ducks.
it's like I haven't seen you for a while and spend 3 hours, talking to himself.
Hey, because it's after midnight for you guys. Happy St. Patty's Day.
Oh, it is. It's the 17th.
That's Irish.
Yeah.
I got Scotch, close enough.
Crackhead.
Oh my God.
I'm a 4th Irish, so yay.
Okay.
Well, you're 1% Congo too.
Yay.
He did the ancestry.
Oh,
and it came up that she's 1% Congo from the Congo.
I'm 1% black.
it's Ancestry.com that's now like cramming up our jail system because all these people are getting busted because they're linking their DNA to places.
Right?
Yeah, I'm
How are you
adopted.
doing?
I would love to learn my ancestry, but I laid low for like 10 years to make sure I wasn't going to get hit with
Why is he
RICO
on?
charges.
He never gets on me.
So I don't think I'm going to be volunteering my DNA.
Well, and that's just it. So that's just it. That it's not even so. It's not you who's volunteering your DNA. It is
It's
like
the
your
family.
children.
But
or
see, he
their-
was adopted,
okay. Well, then I mean, you have like
so
that's
he
that's
doesn't know his DNA.
there's a shit ton. There's a shit ton of people who are getting busted,
Right.
Because nieces and nephews and cousins and stuff of bloodlines are doing these ancestry.coms, and now they're like, wait a minute, there's so many familiar things in this one.
Right.
We need to look into this person's family. We might find this killer. And so people who've been like,
You watch too much TV.
No, they are doing it though.
No, this is-
I've seen it. Yeah.
But you don't want to submit something and it just goes match.
Like I said, though, he's adopted, so he has no idea about his biological anything.
Yeah.
and not judging or anything, but he was adopted in the time where when they said, hey, we don't want any of this information to get out, they
Yeah,
He couldn't get out.
Yeah, my records were literally burned in a wastebasket in the attorney's office.
where now you can be like, I don't want this information to get out. And
Because your sister's father is from that area.
Right. But no, that was a difference in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. His sister was adopted too, and she knows who her biological father was, but he has no clue.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have an interest to know either. His parents were amazing people.
Yeah.
I mean, I would kind of like to know,
Where you're from.
where we're from.
But
Sure.
other than that, he has no interest to meet.
He's not looking for dad.
No,
No. He had great parents.
No, but now my biological
weighs so
birth
much.
mother and father are probably
It made me hot.
dead, just like my adopted parents. So
Right.
they'd be at least in their 70s or 80s by now.
You'd
Yeah.
be surprised how long some of these people be living these days, though.
Yeah, but you're gonna make sure that doesn't happen to me, aren't you, Caitlin?
No.
You're not gonna top out and hit any of those numbers.
I doubt he will.
I could put you on hospice.
I'm sorry.
I could put you on hospice right now for being diabetic.
It just depends on how many zeros,
Right.
how long it takes me to get whatever pre-planned number of zeros that they need to trigger these events.
Right.
Well, I don't know if you know, Master Rochi is a diabetic,
Okay.
and he has been doing insulin injections for years. So that's why I said when Mrs. Bearded started doing the Wegovy, Kate's got a prescription for the Ozempic,
So they won't fill it.
because our insurance wouldn't cover it.
And they won't let me try to pay for it, and they won't let me use discount cards from my doctor.
Yeah, they won't let her fill the Ozempic at all.
My doctor wants me on it because my insulin levels are all fucked up, but not. Like,
Well, did you tell the doctor what all the fucked up shit you eat is? Well, of course not.
but no.
If you did,
So how are you
insulin wouldn't be
doing with the-
necessary. Your insulin wouldn't be all fucked
Christina,
up.
how are you doing with the Wegovy?
Good.
No side effects.
Yeah, I haven't really had side effects. I had the headache, and then I thought the stomach issues that I was having was from it, but he ended up having the same stomach issues, so that was out.
So it was something you ate? Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I haven't really had. I mean, I can't eat. Like, I think I went all day yesterday without eating anything.
Yeah, that's not good though.
Yeah, and probably 11 o'clock last night. I had a Lunchable.
Right.
Yeah, you have to really since
Force
you're on,
yourself to eat.
you need to watch your sugar levels too. Are you checking your sugar?
I checked them once. I haven't checked them again.
Okay. Yeah, because I'd worry about your sugar levels being too low.
Yeah.
She's a new diabetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not fun, and don't let it progress.
Yeah.
Because he started off as being type 2 diabetic, managing it on his own.
Right.
When we met, he managed it on his own, and he did well.
Mhm.
And then over the years, it just got to where his sugar levels got so far out of control. I mean, when you want to talk about high blood sugar, he's like, when he went to the doctor, he ran out of his medicine when he was laid off
Mhm.
and couldn't get into the endocrinologist.
That's when I was working. I couldn't get it.
She didn't have an appointment for like 6 months.
And I couldn't get my medicine refilled until I saw her.
Till you saw her, yeah.
So
And-
when I went back, my A1C was 13.5.
Oh wow.
And his blood sugar level was like 500.
Yeah, when I checked mine, right after I found out, I went and got the little, blood sugar checker thingy, and
Happy check machine.
it was like 102. So I mean,
See,
it wasn't,
that's good. That's good.
it wasn't
Yeah.
bad. So
Yeah, I
I
celebrate.
can usually tell if it gets too low because I get really just worn
Lightheaded.
down and I get kind of dizzy. Like I think that's what's been happening with my.
You know what?
I think it's
The
vertigo
best-
happening. I think it's my blood sugars being too low.
The best thing for that, and it's something you can buy without sugar, get just apple juice.
Apple juice.
No, the best thing is peanut butter. Actually,
Peanut butter? Kate says
peanut
peanut butter, but I was always told apple juice to raise your blood sugar in a hurry.
if you have to raise it in a hurry, the best thing is actually orange juice.
Orange juice?
I keep rapid glucose tablets with me when I'm on the job site.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as an EMT, we either had glucose tablets or peanut butter. It was like military style peanut butter in the ambulance. That way you could give it to them as a quick.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, if you're starting to feel lightheaded, grab you a glass of orange juice. It won't hurt you.
No.
Right.
I tell the people that I work with that I'm an insulin dependent diabetic, and the poor people, I say, look, if I start acting weirder than normal, tell me to eat, and they look at me like, what the fuck's weirder than normal?
Did you know they have glucagon that you can spray up your nose now? Yeah. Those are cool. I like it when people come in with those.
I'm not a fan. So when I was going to school to be an EMT and stuff like that, and they had the glucose packets in the ambulance for you to use, it was basically just like gelatin sugar. It was nasty. I don't know why anyone.
He was a paramedic.
Yeah, and honestly, you need a
That was
paramedic
trying to be.
a dose of D50. And I tell you, that's probably the best run you could go on because it's like to people around you, you're a god. You arrive and miraculously they rise up and walk. Yep, dose of sugar, folks.
Yep. Just gave him some sugar water.
Dumbass forgot to eat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, no.
No, I was going to school to be an EMT because I was on my way to working to be a paramedic.
Right on.
And I had to do so because I was in prison at one point in time in my life. I had to fill out a bunch of paperwork and do a bunch of things just to even get accepted into the class. And I had to submit it to the state and do all of that fun stuff. And they had to even approve to allow me to go to frickin' school.
Yeah.
So once I got those approvals, then I had to basically submit the same style letters to the school for them to accept me and let me learn this trade because of my background. And I got
So this is a blunt question, but what were you in trouble for, if you don't mind me asking?
I went to prison for meth.
Murder.
No, it's perfect because I went to jail for the same thing.
Yeah, I went to prison for meth.
I went to jail for the same thing.
So they gave
That's where I just was asking. It's not anything. I don't hold anything against anybody.
No, absolutely not.
I've been in trouble too.
Yeah. So they gave me all of my letters of approval for me to, take the class, and the school said yes, we would take you. I passed with a 97%. Just rocked it all the way through. And the day before my boards, the day that I was supposed to go and do the board testing to actually become an actual EMT, I got a letter from the state saying that I was not allowed to show up there to take the test. And so it was like 3 appeal letters back and forth. And basically they allowed me to go to school. They allowed me to put myself in like crazy ass debt and pay all of these things. They allowed me to take in all the information. And then even with being, I graduated with a 97%. I was the number one person in our class. Like I was the class valedictorian, and they would not allow me to test. They were like,
Yeah, that's bullshit. But
Yeah.
it's it's the easy access to narcotics and stuff like that. But it's bullshit. I didn't have I had a different situation. I was an army medic, and I came out and I wanted to be an EMT, and they told me that none of my experience counted.
yeah, yep. I would had several of them in our class.
Are
Several.
we still live?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were going off.
So no. Yeah, I mean, I had to go through the EMT classes and the paramedic classes. I mean, they were wonderful. I loved them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like,
Oh, Jolly's still in there.
You've got this.
Jolly!
You've got this great,
had the
training
comments
I got
where I
from the
couldn't see 'em.
military, but
Because I changed the background.
I can't go into being an EMT.
Right.
Well, now I can understand the difference between being a military medic and a civilian paramedic. There is a big difference.
There is.
Similar but different. So I can understand that. But being an EMT, it was just crazy to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but it's the same way. Almost every profession in the military that anybody does in the military, when they come back into the civilian world, they're like, yeah, we don't really accept that. I mean,
Right.
in the military, like almost every single personnel member has their CDL. Every single one of them can drive a big ass motherfucking truck and back it up, and do convoys. Like they are all, able to do that. But then when they decide they want to come out and be truck drivers, they're like, yeah, you can't drive this truck until you take all of these tests to even say. And it's like, really? You guys are with me hauling it down the highway, down the interstate. I had a big tank on the back of my truck. No one said anything then because I was in an army truck.
Right. Yeah, they're carrying, ammo and God knows what.
Right. And no one cares, but you want to go ahead and haul some fucking ice cream.
Right. Down, barely improved road. Yeah, and you can't carry ice cream to the local market.
But it's the same with diesel mechanics. I had several friends who they were diesel mechanics. Like that's what they went to the military for.
Right.
Become a diesel
They
mechanic.
came out and had to get certified.
And then they came out and everything that they knew didn't mean shit. And they had to go back to classes and they were like, are you fucking serious? Like, and it was like, they're like, I could be a diesel mechanic for my country for 12 years. But when I decided to get out, all of that meant nothing. And I had to basically start at the bottom of the totem pole because.
Yeah, that's a big problem with a lot of the vets. A lot of the vets come out of those situations and have a super hard time getting any kind of work when they're in the field that they went into the military for.
Yeah, have amazing experience, amazing knowledge, and nobody's willing to give them a chance to use it.
Yeah.
And,
I think the one that I know of that's had the best turnarounds are like the chefs. Most of the cooks are able to flow right in through another career without any real big hiccups. Just for whatever reason, it's more of an open field to the idea that what you learned in the military probably still passes in the real world.
I think sometimes.
Yeah, but most of them didn't pass for cooks in the military, let alone.
Right.
No, actually, the mess hall did have some, incredible meals.
Yeah.
I can't
I gotta
bitch
get a
about.
drink. Do you want anything?
No. I can't bitch about the meals that they fed me when I was in the army. They were pretty outstanding.
Yeah.
So, and part of the cool thing about being a medic is one of my duties was to inspect the chow hall. So, hey, I'm always open to like 3 pounds of chicken wings to go, yep, everything looks good tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I had it great as an Army medic, and then I made a very fatal decision because everything has slots in the military. So before you can move up and gain rank and gain experience in the slot, you have to wait for somebody else to move up or move out.
Right, you got to wait for that spot to open, basically.
Right, and then it's a competition between you and everybody else for that spot.
Right, because everybody was waiting for that spot.
Right. So what do you have on your military resume that's going to help you get that spot? So you pick up what's called a secondary MOS, military occupation skill. My dumbass, instead of picking, something that is really cool and interesting, picks infantry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm fucking hardcore at this time. I'm like 18 or 19 now. So it's like infantry, baby. Now I haven't PT for over a year. And, right. Well, and when I went to AIT, which is Advanced Individual Training, which is the school portion, I went to Fort Sam Houston. It was co-ed platoons, no saluting, San Antonio every night after class. I'm thinking another AIT. Fuck yeah, I'm down with it.
We're gonna have to get off here soon.
Infantry school dropped me back into basic training.
And let her go to bed.
Okay.
She's got work at 5:30.
All right.
Well,
Good night, Kate.
Our music room and his office is. I know he's told you it's also our spare bedroom. So Kate's ready to go to bed. She's giving
Kate's
me.
like, all right, everybody. She's like, everybody, get out of my room.
She's not, but she's laying there like she's exhausted and ready to go pass out, and I don't want to keep her up.
I'm on Amazon.
Why are you on Amazon?
She's on Amazon. She says, "Why are you talking to me? Can't you see I'm on my phone?"
Shopping.
Oh my God! Quit being a bitch.
I'm getting ready for Kansas City, and I wouldn't talk about my mom that way. You hoe bag.
I can smother you in your sleep.
Do it.
Any alphabet agencies out there that listen to that, I was just
Make
kidding.
my day.
If it happens, it's purely coincidental.
Make my day.
Yeah.
Send me to the death. She's so funny because we'll be in the car and I'll be like, holding on for dear life. And she's like, it's not safe, Mom. We can't go yet. And then she'll go, gotta protect my mama. I'm like, Kate, there's nothing coming. She's like, it's not safe.
Okay, thank you guys so much for having us on for your after.
No, thank you. I can't wait to for Kansas City, and we'll have to get you on occasionally on the Thursday night show.
Oh, it was fun tonight. I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious the way he went about it with the, breaking news.
Beep, 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 beep.
Right.
But we like to just kind of do all kinds of different shows and stuff, and like I said, Thursday nights usually go off the rails anyway.
One day I went on for an hour.
There was a Thursday night that she had Rob Dean in here, St. Louis Rob, and who else?
But it was
Mike Hood, and they were talking about shaving and armpit hair. And another night they were talking. And so they were getting Kate to show her armpits, and
I showed her my armpits.
Oh my gosh, they're just crazy.
Oh, Kate.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
thank you for coming on and being good sports.
You guys want to see my armpits?
But we should do this more often. And when we sit down at Kansas City, I'm going to tell you kind of what's going on with us as a company and stuff, and where we're hoping to go, and what bright spots we have opening up. And like I said, I want to anybody I can involve and help grow. I want to help.
Right.
I know they hear this shit all the time. But
That's all we hear.
You want to see my armpits before you go?
No.
No, we're good.
No.
Thank you.
You sure?
The whole thing is, Kate is very European. She does not shave her underarms.
Okay.
And Mike Hood and Rob Dean just kept egging her on, and oh yeah, it was horrible.
all righty, well we will check out or catch up with you guys later on.
All right.
So,
Love you guys.
Have a good night.
Love your faces.
All right, guys. I can end this. I think I can handle it, Kate.
All right.
All right. Good night, Dolly.
Night, Dolly.
We'll see you guys. When are you're live tomorrow?
Yes.
I'll be there.
Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. your guys' time. Right
All
here.
right. Well,
So,
we will see you
It'd be
tomorrow.
there.
We'll bring the sanity.
Oh my God.
thanks.
I doubt that for some reason.
Bye, guys.
Oh, bye, guys. I can't do the outro though. We don't
No,
need it.
we don't need that.
Did I end it?
No, just to get
Did I end it?
there.